Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. Episode 170 here on our live stream. And so we're going to have a little fun tonight because we're going to, it's that time of the year, starting to get cold around here. Thanksgiving's around the corner, and so is Black Friday shopping and Christmas shopping's going on.
Yes.
So we thought we'll have a little fun. We did this. I actually did a video for the Mavericks yesterday. So in this tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about all kinds of where you can find
kind of
different
did something
stuff.
like this last year.
A little bit.
But closer to Christmas.
Yeah. And we did something more specific to Maverick. This is going to be all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to give you my wish list for my Bronco in case any of you want to buy anything for me. Talking about these kiddos over here. Anyway, but
I said, hey, let's just give him cash towards his next Bronco edition.
I started my list the other night. All right. Anyway, no, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. So hope you guys enjoy it. And I couldn't listen to this as a podcast, but we are going to bring some visuals in because we're going to talk about something that's really hot topic in the news right now when it comes to Ford and specifically the Ranger. And we're going to talk about that because there are some people out there, and I think it's all about the views and everything else that's saying this is coming to the U.S. And we're going to tell you what I think tonight. And yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about it during the dealer news. We'll talk about that. And I actually wait a minute. Is that hold on. That's actually is it true? So we'll hold that off for
I was gonna say
is
that
it true?
We were talking about the is it true, and you were like, then the intro comes on. It says debunking fake news. I was like,
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and so yes, so we'll get to that. That'll be as our is it true there for us. We'll hold off on that. And I actually have 2 is it trues on here, and I was like, wasn't sure what I was going to talk about tonight, but we'll get into that because a lot of people are putting out videos, and some people are putting out some very good videos, like some of the channels that we like to support and to tell you to go watch, and watch his videos a little bit ago. And so yeah, Dave, we're all talking about Dave. Anyway. Let's see what else. So yeah, your favorite podcasting if you want to listen to the podcast, but if you want to check out the visuals, you listen to the podcast, you might want to just stop right now and go on over and watch the live stream on our YouTube channel for that. So there you go. But we'll get all that and scheduling as well, and not many dealer news updates, and there are a few recalls as well. We'll cover all that and get into shopping. We all like that. I like to always dream, right, about that.
All of my Christmas shopping is done.
I will say I purchased a lot of things, and there's some things I will probably on my Bronco hold off.
There's only 2 things or 2 people I need to shop for. Other than that, I'm done Christmas shopping, and I like to have mine done by Black Friday or before Black Friday. Then I don't have to worry in December about getting gifts. One less thing to worry during the holiday.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Yeah. All that good stuff. Now, don't forget, if you want, speaking of shopping, if you want any of our merch, we do have a merch shop. There's a link in the description of this video, as well as most of the videos at the bottom. We do have, I was going to do that. So, no, actually, there is one tomorrow. McArthur.spreadshop.com. There is 15% off everything tomorrow through this weekend, tomorrow through Sunday. But the big sale is 30% off on Black Friday. So there you go. So, for that favorite family member or friend that watches the channel and you want to get
clip.
Actually, I have some.
You should pull this out as a clip and share this clip with your friends and family so they know what to get you this Christmas.
I have some fun ideas for some other things that I want to add. So maybe if we can get that done before then, that might be fun. Because I saw one the other day when we were somewhere and it had a Jeep on it. So I was like, that'd be good, except it's a Jeep. And it says, get over it. And it shows a Jeep going over some rocks. And I'm like, I love that.
Yes.
Just, get over it.
Yeah.
And then one I thought about today, there was somebody in here that said something about mental health, and I'm like, you know what? You can, a picture of the Bronco going off-roading and saying, "I'm taking a mental health day." I think that'd be funny because that does help our mental health. Getting out and adventuring with the Bronco, getting you out in the nature, away from phone calls and internet access. That is the best medicine for needing a stress relief day.
Someone that I was in golf with in high school, she just got a Bronco.
Yeah.
She went to Bronco off-roading. She's like, I guess I'm taking my Bronco off-roading now. I'm like, welcome to the family.
I will. We do need a disclaimer on this here that if you do go to off-rodeo, just a warning,
you won't be able to leave the outdoors alone.
They really need to let you go to this when you order your vehicle, so you see if you need to change anything on your order.
Yes. It'd be really good to be able to do that.
Because when I did it, I did that. So once because back then you ordered a long time, and we ordered in January, right? It was May. We went to the off rodeo for dealers, and then I came back and I added a rear locker to my vehicle. Like, I need a rear locker. Yeah, that's when I added the rear locker to it. So,
yeah,
and decided to get the Roush package with the big tires. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, preface: danger, warning. You will want to off road after this. Anyway.
You won't want to get back on paved roads after this.
Yeah, I've been driving the Bronco. Actually, I was driving them. I enjoy driving both vehicles, but drove the yeah. We're actually going to show you something that one of my favorite things that is on the Bronco that is very inexpensive for your Bronco family members. But your mom pulled up tonight because I brought the Expedition in because I turned one of the bulbs was out, and she brought it in and she hit the thing. She goes, "You can't hear it in here." I said, "Nope." She was doing the horn. It's like, as long as she's out of sight, she'll do it. But it's going. It's kind of funny. So then we went out. I went out and got in the Bronco to go around to the back, and she was getting an Expedition, so I went out and did it. I was like, "I'm around, no." Anyway, all right, all for good stuff. Okay. Yeah, and then don't forget you can check out our website, fordvideoguymedia.com, which I have stuff that I put on the Bronco there. So that's with a shopping list. If you want anything, people might want that. You can check that out as well. And actually where I got most of those parts and everything off for the Bronco. But also our blog site is there too. I haven't blogged in a while with any articles or anything, but I'm going to do one on the Ranger. We're going to talk about that later, and I'll do that. I'll write that one tomorrow. Anyway, and then recently we've finished off the Bronco. So all the Bronco trim level videos are done as of last night. So if you're thinking about getting a Bronco, want to order one, we are doing invoice pricing. We're also paying for your way to get to Bronco off rodeo. I should say most of your way. $1,000 should cover flights, hotels for you. We want to make sure everybody gets to go to that at invoice pricing. And if you finance, $1,000 off. So we always do that deal on financing. But anyway, so yeah, we're finished with the Bronco, and we're going to do mach-e videos this week. So because the order, I think that's another, is it true, I could have done, because a lot of people don't realize that the order banks are open because there's no build and price on Ford.com, because on the mach-e it's done differently. It's build and buy, and for that reason, if you can't buy one because it doesn't have a VIN number, then it's not available on the website. So you probably won't see that open up until January. Maybe Lightning should be coming soon. So once that build and is available for Lightning, we'll probably start doing some videos on the Lightning. But we'll do mach-e this week because we can't order those, and we'll use 24 as a reference. But throw in some pictures from 25 since we have it. So we'll be doing those videos, and we're doing invoice on mach-es as well. So if anybody wants to order one, I think we have like 6 allocations this month. So plenty of people that can get, and that's startup for 24.5. So anyway, let's see what else. It's all good stuff. Don't forget.
Yeah.
You should be subscribed by now if you're not, with the bell notification turned on. So if you guys are doing that.
New here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, smash the like button as well. That's a very inexpensive way. And if you want to support the channel, some of the about 2/3 of it comes to us, and that's
membership.
There you go. I was trying to load you up because this is your part. Membership.
Yes, if you'd like to become a member. It is right there beside the subscribe button. If you're an iPhone user, you have to do things just a little bit differently. You have to go up to your web browser, go up to little A and big A, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it. Membership content can be found underneath the membership tab and community tab, or on your homepage of, well, our homepage.
Yes, if you go right to Law McArthur's homepage, you'll
Yeah.
see it right under there under recommended videos and different things. And you should get notified. If you have the bell notification turned on, you'll also get notified. And I will tell you this, about every one of our videos goes live for members first before it goes to the public.
Yep.
And sometimes it's hours before. Like if I have something done and I don't want to forget to have it go live, and I schedule earlier in the afternoon, they'll see it in the afternoon when everybody else doesn't see it till that night. So that is something to think about. I think that might have happened on the video over this weekend that I did on Sunday. But anyway, most of the videos, the scheduling one, not because I do it on a live stream, but about all the other videos, you get to see it early. And we do live streams every Friday. We do lot walks every Saturday with a couple different topics that I normally don't always talk about here on a live stream.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, check those out. All right. Well, that's all the good stuff. And you get member shout outs.
Yes.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yep. All right. So we're going to start it off with Ridgeview. See you all soon, folks. He is one of our moderators. He greets everyone into the chat and keeps a close eye on it for me. And then we have Niles. Where'd his comment go?
Oh, is he in here? Cool.
He's in here. Howdy, is anyone rowdy? Which then we got some comments about that. Here it is. Google says if you describe people as rowdy, you mean that they are noisy, rough, and likely to cause trouble. And then someone said, well, Sarah's rowdy then.
Yeah.
Is mischief different than trouble?
Ornery. See, ornery. That's the old people's word, ornery. Anyway.
I like to say mischievous.
Glad to see Niles in here. I know he's been working really hard, paying for his remodel, I know, down on his house. And so he gets up, works early to help pay for that. So
we're glad to see you in here.
He'll be in here for a little while. I'm sure he'll head out fairly early, get to bed, but appreciate you being on here, Niles. We like you. In fact, we're going to talk about something else.
We have Chris Byrne, Midcoast Maine, Ghostang, Quib, good chilly Tuesday. It's been chilly here, although my weather app said it was 104 this morning.
I think it was wrong.
Hello, Ridgeview, Law McArthur, Sarah, friends. It's dark and rainy near Knoxville. Hope all of you are having a good week. It's been rainy here.
It's really hard to get used to the sun going down so early, though. Getting off work at 5 and it's already dark.
I know.
Crazy.
Ronald Smith, good evening, everyone in the Long Mat crew. Jack Evans, hello all. We have Ford enthusiast, evening all. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Brian Foster, hello Ridgeview and everyone to a lovely Tuesday evening. I hope everyone's doing well. Alan is here, evening all. Nice rainy day here in Oregon. We have Mike 52G from, is it Northeast Pennsylvania?
I think so. Yay.
Yep.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Gino, hello from Brooksville, Florida, and he says it's rainy there too, and he just got his roof fixed.
Oh yeah.
Just in time.
Roof damage, yeah.
Watched your Maverick Monday. He has a few of those from Alan.
Yeah. I knew he had a couple of those around there. But yeah, I don't even know if I was saying it right. Is it Mabet or Mabet? Mabet. Like Mabsim. Mabet.
Yeah.
Does Mabsim own part of that? No. Anyway, so let's not forget this.
What's in Tim's cup?
All right.
Can I guess by seeing the color?
No. Not really. Well, you narrow some things out.
Yeah.
By looking at the color, but
Yeah, I get
anyway.
because I have no idea what you put in there. I was working on something before coming.
It was in a
here.
can. That's about all.
Oh, I was gonna guess water. It
You
looks
probably
like
could
water.
hear that pop. Well, don't tell him.
Hey,
Anyway.
I just said what it looks like.
Yep. All right. Yep. So there we go. There's that. All right. You guys guessed that while Sarah got a good dealer moment here. Just keep rolling along.
I do. All right. I gotta toggle to it real quick. You gonna throw up the slide?
Yep.
All right. This is Leith Ford in Wendell, North Carolina. Stock order, no DM, and honored X-Plan pricing. So that's Wendell, North Carolina with Leith Ford. So they did honor X-Plan, no ADM, and it was a stock order that they did that on.
Yeah, you can, even stock, you should be able to get any planned pricing on.
Yeah.
So, one thing we didn't talk about was what all we did this weekend.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
What all did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? We stayed home all weekend. We were going to take the kids to the library and go hang out at the park, and then it was raining. We could have still gone to the library. Instead, we stayed in and had a chill day because I was up with the baby till 2 a.m. He woke up coughing. He's okay.
I helped your brother move into his new apartment.
Yeah.
So moving out, but we put together a lot of IKEA things. So he saved up and bought a lot. Like all his stuff is new for his place. So even got a new bed. He left us his old bed. He's like, here you go. No, he went to a full size bed, and so that's up. He should be actually sleeping there tonight. But new TV even. Mm-hmm. He splurged on that. I mean, it's pretty big for a small apartment.
Yeah.
It's got a little IKEA tables and little things, and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
but I knew you guys were busy with that, so I kept my boys home.
Yep. He even got a chair. He got a Secret Lab chair, but it's a special edition one put together.
That's
and
what
his
he said.
computer's set up as 3 monitors and
Yeah.
everything. So it's pretty good deal there. So a little 1-bedroom apartment, and it's a brand new apartment, so you don't have to worry about people before him being clean and everything. So for those you didn't know, he kind of has an anxiety, and he does have a beef allergy. So having a place that nobody else has lived in is kind of a cool thing
with all new appliances, with all new everything. It's just
all new appliances. You don't have to worry about anything being any beef being cooked in the microwave or otherwise you'd be doing some deep cleaning though. So it's kind of fitting just perfect for him. So anyway,
so they asked, is the Bart's house officially an empty nest?
Nope.
Still got one more.
I got one more. So we're working on that one, on saving up and finding a place. So it's hard when with what you make. I mean, we don't need to get into any kind of politics or economy or anything, but it's hard for somebody making minimum wage to be able to live on their own. Just can't do it. You have to find someone or 1 or 2 people to live with to make things work. I mean, Jeff's doing it, and he's at a very an income base. The only thing he has is his apartment.
Yes.
And his car, and that's it. He's got nothing else. So being able to make it work, but he's not minimum wage either. So it's difficult. Anyway, won't go into that, but all righty. Let's see.
So they're guessing something in the Mountain Dew family or root beer. Man, they didn't hear my comment about it looking like water.
I really should be mean and go, well, let's get into the scheduling and not tell you until after that. But I won't.
It's clear.
I'm nice. It is clear.
Can I guess what it is since I don't know?
Sure.
And then you can tell them if I'm right. I think it's probably something from the dealership. I can pretty much square it down to that. It's either a Ghost or one of the Starburst ones.
It's C4.
C4?
But it's Skittles, not Starburst. Gotcha there.
You never go for the C4.
Yeah. Usually I do the Starburst one though. Yeah, I usually don't do I won't do monsters. Although I do a monster breakfast drink, but
That's a little
usually
different.
used to have the Starbucks drinks in here, and we don't carry those anymore. But
Nope.
anyway, there you go. Yep. Figure I need a little energy. So all right, see what else is going on. I think that's it. Don't forget those channels, and I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of people. Like last night even I didn't get on
Yeah.
because we went over and he got a couch that he had purchased that was not the quality he thought, so we took that back to Target last night. So we did that instead of being able to get on All Train Nation until late, but I did at least check in a little bit on them. But yeah, so
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right. I tell you what, Thanksgiving come up. One of these years, you guys, we're gonna be gone. We're like, okay, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You guys can follow us and come along if you want, but we're gonna go to Utah or Colorado. We're just gonna get out of town, go off road, and go down to Texas. Something.
Go for it.
Just bye. We do need to go to Utah.
Yeah.
Coming up in December. Got to figure that one out. I'm thinking a
You
long
and Mom?
weekend like I did that one where I did a Friday through Monday.
Mhm.
That
You
was
and Mom?
fun. Yeah. Well, we need to go drive the Bronco Sport.
Yeah.
25 Bronco Sport before they hit lots.
Right.
That has to happen.
But you're
All right.
expecting that to be a you and Mom trip, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I need someone to film some things.
Yes. So maybe she needs a crash course on how to film.
She did good. She recorded the video that I did with the air up and air down.
Yeah.
When we were in Colorado.
Well, so I've
She
been
did
off
that.
of caffeine. I had coffee this morning. It had more coffee than I'm used to because I'll get like a cappuccino with a hint of coffee in it. No, it just had mostly coffee in it. So when I went to go do the video, I was like, oh, I don't think this is good. My hand's shaking a little. Hope this video comes out steady.
That's what a tripod's for.
So don't drink energy drinks right before filming.
Yeah.
Not fun.
All right. Either way we do it, Brian's going to get in the middle of it, get in the background somehow. Like he did do it on when we were in Tennessee.
I mean, if you want me to go, I can go, but I need to bring Lebo and the boys, or at least one of my boys. Mom can watch the boy while I help you.
Anyway, we'll have to see. We got to figure that out. Or I'll bring Jeff along.
There you go.
That was a good trip for us to go on.
Yeah.
He needed time to get away. All right.
He does a better job at video.
Okay. Any other questions or anything before we get into scheduling for this week? I think it'll be a little it's going to be hard to, I think, understand for some people that there's some people out there that are like, I'm not scheduled. And I think if you think that you haven't received the email that you're not scheduled, you might think again, because I think in some situations, some of you might be scheduled and not know it, because there was somebody that did that they were like, well, I haven't been scheduled. I'm a Lariat. Lariats aren't scheduling. No. Like my dealers got allocations. They don't have that many orders. They're not scheduling. They are scheduling Lariats. I actually get an email plus ours scheduled this week. Everything's scheduling. You got to remember that first week, their goal is that they want to schedule all the retail orders that they can that first week of scheduling for that month, which was last week. So the week of the 14th was the first day they scheduled for those January build dates for the Maverick and some of those vehicle lines. And their goal is to schedule out as much as they can with those retails first, and then fill in with stock orders for dealers that have allocations not used. Then they want to fill in over the rest of the production with what they call OTD, and it's what they know they can build that the retails didn't cover. And so that's why you'll see some notes in this for like the Maverick that says that it's a constraint, and that's because they already scheduled out their month of Lariats and XLs. So if you didn't get scheduled last week, then yes, you might see that it's a limited availability or very limited, like on the XL, but that's because they've already scheduled out most of their month for those retails because they had enough of those retail orders. And then they're going to need to fill in around that. So anybody that they have a retail order for the others that still have openings, right, then they're going to fill in around that with the stock orders. And that's the way that's going to work. Like for us, every single one of our retail orders have been scheduled. We still have allocations. But we did actually take a couple orders since last week's scheduling. So they'll probably get scheduled with some more retails. But then they're going to be looking for us to fill those retails which also shows you what stocks you're going to be able to find. So if you're out there going, I'm not going to order, I want to wait to get one at a dealer lot, you actually, you're better off ordering one, because then you can get what you want. Whereas if you wait to find one at somebody's dealership's lot, you're going to be restricted to what basically OTD or what they had to fill in for everything else. Like for right now in the Maverick, if you find any stock Mavericks on lots, once they start showing up, they're probably going to be like XLTs. They're going to be Tremors. They're going to be the things that they didn't get enough orders for retails for. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of how that works. And, when you're trying to fill in, if you're trying to do something, you're like, hey, I think we talked about this, like, hey, we're making those beaded necklaces, right? And everybody wants a blue or purple or lavender, right? And nobody's taking black or the whites, then they're going to go ahead and make them, even though they have the capacity to. And then those are when they're like, hey, you know what? Since you didn't want these, we're going to give you these. Take these along with the others. Right? Because we just needed to make them, and we could make them, but we want to keep production up. You guys would anybody would do the same thing. And so Ford's just finding ways to be able to fulfill their 100% of their production level to keep their workers busy, to keep vehicles produced so that they can sell more vehicles. And so that's why if you're like end of the year, you're going to see this with Super Duty as well. End of the year, you're going to see a lot of like 6.8 liter engines at dealer lots. So if you're looking for a Super Duty year-end, it always happens at the end of the year. Those customers, hey, you need a tax write-off, and it's a good time to update your fleet of trucks. Then they're looking for Super Duties, but it's too late for them to order. They're going to be looking for dealer lots. Guess what they're going to see? They're going to see a bunch of 6.8 liter XLs and XLTs on dealer lots, right? 7.3s with XLTs, and they're not going to find any diesels. Why? Because Ford needed to fulfill the rest of the production level, because they could build 6.8s, but nobody was ordering them, right? Well, you're going to see that. So if you look on dealer lots, we know of a dealer that's within our state that competes with us, and they have one Super Duty on their lot that is not a 6.8 liter. They got a ton of 6.8 liters, and they have one Super Duty. But we're sitting pretty good, well equipped. I don't know. We got a bunch of Super Duties at a bunch of different varying levels, because we got a bunch of allocations. We're able to, and we didn't. We were like, no, Ford, we're not. I mean, we put in the orders, even though they said we require them because they're trying to push dealerships to do things for them. We said, no, we're done. We're not putting any in. And then they would put them in for us, but we dirtied them. So I won't tell you what that means. It's a good word. It's not saying I'm doing anything illegal or anything, but we found a way to make sure that our other orders get scheduled instead of those orders that Ford made us take. So we won't tell everybody how to do that, but you figure it out. All right. That's why we're a progressive dealer, because we figure things out, loopholes. All right. So I think we'll get into scheduling with that in mind. I just kind of wanted to prep people for that, to know that, hey, it looks like it's a constraint. It's not really. It's because most of the month's already been scheduled. So I might reiterate that when I get to that for those that watch the scheduling video. So, all right, ready for that? And then, of course, if you have any questions on scheduling as I go through them, pop those down there so we can cover those right after scheduling. So, all right, good.
Yep.
All right, let's get into scheduling for this week. And again, these are notes and scheduling information for this week only. And it doesn't reflect other weeks, past weeks, or future weeks. This reflects what's going on with scheduling of orders for this week. And in doing that, we need to make sure we go up here and cover in what all the information means. So orders are placed in what they call the order bank. Dealers, we call that WBDO, WBDO. That's where the orders are placed, whether it be stock, retail orders, fleet orders, they all are put into there. Retail orders, that's a customer placed order. So that's what Ford likes to call it, because it's already sold in their mind. It's ordered to be delivered and sold right away. So that's why they call it that. Stock orders, those are for orders that dealers will put in. Because if they don't have that many retail orders, but they know they have allocations, they'll want to put some stock orders in. And if they don't put them in, the region will put the orders in for you, or Ford will. And that's for your lot or stock inventory. And that's hopefully dealers are having plenty of that. Priority code. That priority is given to orders by the dealer for the most part by the dealer, and the default for a retail order is a 19, but a dealer can change that to anything from an 03 to a 19. And the reason you would put those in different places is it helps, help with an order maybe that's not getting scheduled, or maybe you've had a bunch of orders at the same priority and you have one that keeps getting overlooked. You can move it down to a lower number to help get it, get scheduled. And then 20 to 80 is what normally you put in for stock. So 80 is the default. Lower the better. So if a dealer sees, hey, you know what, the region put in these priority 80 stock orders, but here's the ones that I like, they can move them down to 20s. They can make some changes to them too. That helps them. For us, it helps us manage them. If we know something's still at a priority 80, it means we haven't looked at it and touched it. And so we'll maybe make some change of that, change colors, some things like that. And then we'll change that priority to 20. So when we do get stock scheduling, then that's, then those will get selected first. Scheduling. That is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in future months. We're talking about what Ford is going to schedule this week, and then we'll talk about what production weeks they're scheduling for. So usually they're about 2 months in advance. And then in some instances, since they're not going to schedule much in December, they're probably going to be talking about 2 months or almost 3 months in advance on some of these. And then allocations. Now, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders, because a dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. You can have 10 orders in there. If you only get 2 allocations, they're not all going to get scheduled. A dealer has to have an allocation to schedule that. So it's not going to be, okay, there's 10 retail orders put in there. That means they're going to give them 10 allocations that month. That doesn't work that way. They earn the allocation based on their sales of each model within their region. And now Ford is starting to add how well they sell EVs within their state too. And actually I need to update this, because they're actually changing this, and they're doing allocations based on state now instead of region. So there you go. Constraints, those are options that may be in short supply or take longer to build or have already been scheduled out. That's something that you need to consider as well. They've maybe already scheduled out most of the month. So because of that, you might see a limitation of what they can schedule because they don't have open slots for some of those things that they've already scheduled out most of those orders. Capacity, that's the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, or option. And that's where you might see that constraint come in, is if they've already scheduled out their capacity for a certain trim level for a certain model. So then what they have left is what their any leftover capacity for the other trim levels. And so because of that, that's what they might be scheduling instead, and have the availability. Job 1 and 2, that is production run within a model year. It's split into 2 different runs, because if they need to incorporate anything or add something or change something because of supply issues, then they can make those changes for job 2 and keep production going. All right, balance out. That's the end of production, or the balance out a particular option or package or something like that, or even a color. So there you go. All right, hope that makes sense. So, all right, we're going to get into this for this week, and we're going to start with the 25 model year Mustang. So there's currently 598 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Not too many for the Mustang. The order banks are open up, including Dark Horse, but if you do place a Dark Horse order, ask your dealer if they have allocations, because that's going to be part of it. They're going to need that. Now, they are scheduled this week for production dates, the weeks of December 30th through January 27th. So, by the way, plants are not building the last 2 weeks of December. They're not going to schedule the last 2 weeks of December. So that you're talking, this is basically the first, those are the weeks in January for starting up production again after the plant's been down. Main commitment, Dark Horse handling package won't be available until April of 2025. So if you have a Dark Horse order, dealer has a Dark Horse application, they're going to want to push you to get something that doesn't have a handling package, because they are not going to have that until later. The Mustang Night Pony package with the black painted roof is available only for retail scheduling. So that's only those special customer orders. For stock orders, the vehicle must have black exterior paint if you want the Night Pony package. So there you go. Limit availability for the 5.0 liter V8 engine. That is the standard GT engine. Also very limited to exhausted for the EcoBoost engine, the 2.3 liter. So basically what they're really looking for, looks like to me, is to kind of finish out probably any last ones they have for the GT, but also focus on the dark horse, it looks like, because they probably, looks like last week were able to schedule most of their production month for the GTs and the EcoBoost. All right. Next up is the 25 model year Escape. There's only 70 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. For the Escape, the order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the plug-in hybrid and all your hybrids. They are scheduling this week for those January build dates, the week of December 30th through January 27th, the week of. And this just says main commitment. Main commitment means that it's not just retail, but they'll also do stock. If a dealer has allocations and they don't have retail orders, then they'll schedule stock. So sometimes you'll see a mixture of both. If the dealer doesn't have, if they have a mixture, if they have some retail orders, I should say. All right, that's all they have in there. No constraints on anything from what we have in any notes here. Next up, the 25 model year Bronco Sport. Currently only 160 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up, so you can schedule anything you want. Even those Sasquatch packages are available to order. This is job one balance out scheduling for this week, which means they want to finish out job one before moving to job two. So some of the job two stuff is your Sasquatch packages for the Outer Banks and the Badlands. Those are job twos. So those will not schedule. Those will start producing in February. So they are scheduling this week for the weeks of, they need to finish out December, but then also they need to schedule for January. So you're going to see a mixture of both. So a lot of different dates they could schedule for here. And a couple of little notes here that they're going to use OTD orders. They're going to release them. So they did a couple of weeks ago. Basically, OTD I'm not sure exactly what the abbreviation stands for, but basically they're going to put orders in for dealers by configurations that they know they can schedule and that they need help getting in there so they can continue production at a full capacity. So they said adding the Big Ben to that with the Black Diamond off-road package will improve order timing for Big Ben orders. Now, I have to say this. The Black Diamond off-road package is so much better than it was in 24 model year. So I encourage you to think about ordering those as dealers, because that is a pretty cool package. If you want to take your Big Ben off-road, you're going to be able to do it with that Black Diamond off-road package. Also, Sasquatch Outer Banks and Badlands Outer Bank Sasquatch packages will be job twos. You can order those now, but they just won't get scheduled until they're ready to start scheduling job two, which is not this week. They are needing some orders, like we mentioned earlier, with the Black Diamond off-road package. They also need some Outer Banks orders as well. And then they need some very limited to exhausted on the all-season tire that they put on about all the different trim levels. So it's the 225, 65, R17. And exhausted availability for January scheduling. So for the Black Appearance package and the Heritage version. So those packages there are pretty much almost already scheduled for January. So if you have one of those, you might have to wait a little longer, but hopefully you didn't have any issues getting yours scheduled on that. But again, they need to, looks like they're still trying to fill in those last holes for December. That's why those December build dates are there. And I think what they had said last week was they needed those Black Diamond off-road packages to fit in there. And I don't think people realize, I might have to do a video on this, but that Big Ben with the Black Diamond off-road package, I'm telling you, that's a pretty good package. So you might think about that. Next up is a 25 model year Bronco. Currently 779 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for 25 model year. You can order a base. They're just not scheduling until later. So actually, I don't know if you can even order one. Actually, it may not be able to. I haven't tried, I guess. But that is the only thing that's a late availability is that. Everything else can be ordered. They are scheduled for the startup for production for January 13th through the week of January 27th. And this is main commitment. So they will schedule stock and retail orders. I think last week was specialty only. So it was Strop Edition and Raptor, but this week they'll open that up for other scheduling. And it does say in here, sim orders were created this past weekend. So sim orders means it's simulated orders that put those orders in there for dealers, so they don't have to go in and insert their own orders. So they placed orders over the past weekend for non-specialty Broncos, so that dealers that have stock or have no retail orders can get their allocations used. And so for dealers, you want to look at those. You only have a couple of days now to look at those to see if you want any tweaks to those. You might end up with something you may not like. All right, that's all I have for that. Next up, 25 model year Mach-E. There's only 16 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up. A lot of people don't realize this. There's not build and price on Ford's website. You can look on our website if you want to see pricing and how those would affect your pricing by different configurations. You can do it on our website, but the order banks are open up. You can order with your local dealer, including us. They are scheduling for production weeks January 6th through January 27th. So this is startup for 25 model year and main commitment, which means they will schedule both retail and stock orders. All right. Next up, 25 model year Explorer. Currently, 317 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up. They are on job 2 ordering. They did make some tweaks and changes to job 2 because of some part issues, like we mentioned earlier in the notes. They are scheduled this week for January 13th through January 27th, which is where job 2 scheduling is. Main commitment, which means they'll schedule, again, like I mentioned earlier, retail and stock. And then they are limited availability for the ST version. Looks like they scheduled most of those last week, as well as black painted roof is also limited availability. So it's not that there's a constraint there. It's that they probably already scheduled those out for everything that they could make and produce according to their capacity that they have planned on, right? So, all right. Next up, 25 model year Expedition. Currently 1,522 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, including mine. And the order banks are open up right now for that, so you can place those orders. They are scheduled this week for weeks of January 6th through January 27th. Now, scheduling only a limited amount of OTD fitness stock orders. So they're going to start. This is really weird. Normally, you start right off with retail orders, but not on the Expedition for this year. They are not scheduling any retail orders. If you have a retail Expedition order, then you're not going to get scheduled. They're going to schedule stock orders first to start off. So I heard this first month is going to be all stock and not retail orders. And I think it's because they want to get those onto dealer lots first, so they can show people how awesome they are. So, but there you go. 25 model year Maverick is currently 1,670 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Not that many. They are order banks are open up to schedule about anything, with exception job 2 stuff is not in there. And I'll talk about job 2 and the live. If you go to the live stream and check that out, we're going to talk about that. But job 2 is not available to order right now. I did check last night. It is not there. If you check Ford's website, you can see some of the job 2 items are shown on the website now as options as part of the lariat and the tremor and Lobo 702A. And it even shows the Lobo 402A option on the website too. But you cannot order those in the ordering system yet. So just be patient if you're waiting for that stuff. This is job 1 balance out scheduling. So they will not be able, they probably won't even put orders in there until after maybe Friday they'll open it up, because they need to finish out job 1 scheduling. So they're going to schedule the weeks of December 2nd through January 27th. So that, which through January is when job 1 production is done. You can order Lobo 702A, but not 402A right now. They are needing some XLT orders with the black appearance package. It does say required orders in here, as well as the tremor. They're saying are required orders for dealers, but yeah. So they're going to probably put in some stock orders for dealers that don't have any retail orders that they need to fulfill, or maybe if they, and here's a situation where sometimes that dealer might have allocations and they might have retail orders, but those retail orders don't get scheduled because they've already scheduled out everything those are, and they're not something that they can schedule because of the capacity that they have. Whereas they're looking for XLT black appearance package orders and tremor orders. So if a dealer doesn't have any retails that are those, but they can schedule those, they'll put in some stock orders for them, and those will get scheduled. So that's how sometimes that can happen. So, and then limited availability for the Lariat version, as well as the 2K trailer tow receiver hitch, which is optional on the XL, but standard on XLT and above, and then very limited to exhausted for the XL version. So it sounds like to me, they've already scheduled out for January and December all the Lariats and XLs that their capacity can meet, and so their planned production. So if you didn't get scheduled on one of those 2, that means that they've hit their capacity for that month. So you might have to wait until February production to be able to get fulfilled. So that's a possibility. Or it's that your dealer doesn't have allocations. One of those two reasons. So there we go. That's all I have for that. 25 model year Ranger. There's currently 499 unscheduled retail orders in order bank. You can order the Ranger, including Ranger Raptor. They are scheduling this week for production weeks January 13th through January 27th, which is startup production for the Ranger. And this is main commitment. So they'll schedule retail and stock orders, a mixture depending on they always look for retails first, but then if they don't have any retail orders, then they'll fulfill those allocations for dealers with those stock. So, all right, next up, 25 model year Super Duty. There's currently 3,957 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year, so you can place those orders. They are done with 24 model year scheduling. I can't remember production where that goes through, but I think it's through December and even into January at certain plants. But they are going to be scheduled this week for scheduling at Kentucky truck plants for the weeks of December 16th through January 13th. Those are 25 model year, and no scheduling at Ohio right now. 24 model year has officially balanced out at both plants, Ohio and Kentucky. Let's see here. What else? Required orders. Yeah, they're still wanting dealers to place those F250 and 350 orders for XL and XLT without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. No, thank you. Very limited to exhausted availability for the 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel that's standard on the King Ranch Lariat Platinum F350. That's optional on the XL and XLT F350. Also, the 17-inch argent painted steel that's standard on the XL and XLT F350. I think that's the one that's on the, I don't think it's the dually, but the single rear wheel. All right, the lug nut cap available on the Lariat F250 single rear wheel, XLT F250 or 350 single rear wheel, and 4x4s with a 10.5 axle. Also, the lug nut cap that's included with the four-wheel drive part-time. It says four-wheel drive for the single rear wheel with the center cap hub. So the dag wheel ornament that's included on the two-wheel drive single rear wheel with the bright hub covers and the 10.5 axle, and also the 4x4 front axles that's available on the F450, 550, 600 with the 4.3 and 4.88 regular rear axle, and the Dana rear axle that's available on the F250 and F350 single wheel pickup with the 6.7 liter engine. So looks like the reason you'll see that those are exhausted or very limited to exhausted is they probably schedule everything that their capacity has because of parts. You'll see there's a lot of parts issues for some of those lug nut caps and some of those things right there. So, all right. Next up, 25 model year F-150. There's currently 1,947 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for that. The order banks are open up for the F-150. They are scheduled this week for production weeks January 6th through January 27th. They are needing some Raptor orders without the tonneau cover. So they're needing some the 801A and 802As, which is your Raptor and Raptor 37s. So they're needing, evidently there's some orders in the system that have the tonneau covers on there. And I always tell you guys, don't put those on there. Here's a situation where that is a constraint because there are people that have Raptor orders, but they want the covers. Well, what they're trying to say is take those covers off your orders and we can schedule them. Limited availability for the 20-inch dark gray wheel with the machined aluminum wheel that's standard on the STX 200A, as well as the tire 265 70R17 all-terrain tire that's standard on 4x4 XL and with the 64C wheel and that's included on the XL 103A with the 64F wheel. So that's the tire that's available on those. So that's it for F-150. All right, next up, 25. Did I say 24 in that? Yeah, 25 F-150. In 25 model year Transit, there's currently 496 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Transit. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. They are done with 24. That has balanced out. They are going to looking to schedule 25 model year orders start up this week for production weeks January 20th and the week of January 27th. So no constraints yet because they are ready to fulfill those and with full capacity. So there is that. So if you are watching the Wednesday scheduling video, then drop your comments down below. I'll try to answer those as quickly as best I can. Try not to forget any. So drop those in there. Or if you're watching us live, I'll take your questions right now and we can answer those for you as we go over to Sarah. There you go.
All right. So, one of the questions I did see is, are we planning to have any stock Lobo?
Maybe 402As.
The cheaper one?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, because that's one of those that if you want one, just order one. You'll get it faster than we can get a stock one. That's for sure. Right.
Yeah.
That's people that are waiting to, hey, I want to get a stock and that kind of thing. I mean, you're just better off, go ahead and ordering one like well, I'm doing it on the expedition. So, you don't, like your mom doesn't know whether or not she's going to like that when it comes in, right? She isn't driven in anything. So we ordered a trimmer, right? In the color she wants and everything. When it comes in, we'll drive it and we'll decide whether or not we want it. I did that with the mach-e rally. I actually didn't, because things had changed with me since when I ordered it. I didn't think I was going to take it, but the leases were so ridiculous that I did. So, I mean, you can always do that. We can always try to order it and, if you don't take it. But one of the things you do know, though, is if you do order something that's like a Lobo 702A or a Lariat, we will require a deposit that will be non-refundable if you don't take it, though. So that is something to consider.
If you decide that you don't want that and you would like to go with an XLT or something else on our lot,
then
we can move your deposit over to another unit.
Yes. And the reason we're doing that is because there's certain configurations, just like with the Super Duties, we require a deposit, is because if you order that and don't take it, then we are, in a sense, you can say stuck with it. And some dealers like, well, dealer will love having inventory. Not now. We have 300 units on our lot. We don't need any help with inventory. And there's certain configurations that just don't sell for us. So, and Lariat trim is one of those. When somebody comes in looking for a stock vehicle, if they wanted a Maverick, they ordered it. Otherwise, if they're coming in needing a vehicle, they're needing, a lot of times what sells for the Maverick is they're looking for that inexpensive vehicle, and the Maverick fits that bill as long as it's an XLT. I mean, look at mostly what we've been selling. Even our XLTs really haven't been selling that great, but our XLs have. Again, it's a price point, right? And for us, the Lariats, we have one lone Lariat, and it was one that somebody did turn down. We still have had it for 30 days now.
Yeah.
So, right. Yeah. So that's why we probably won't have any stock 702As. There is a possibility we might try a 402A. We'll always try something once, but if it just doesn't well, then we learn from those and then we don't replicate that again.
Right.
I mean, that's why you'll see on a lot. You see a lot of F-150 XLTs, right? You'll see some Lariats. There's like 2 King Ranchers on our lot, and I don't think there's a Platinum on our lot. So we learn on our F-150s. We know what sells for us. Super Duty the same way. And one thing you won't see is very many Super Duties in the Platinum edition on our lot. If you want a Platinum, you're gonna have to special order one, right? We have a lot of XLTs. We got some STXs. Some of those required ones that Ford made us take. But I mean, we have to, fulfill our inventory based on what we think can sell. Because again, stock people, they're coming in, they just got a whim to buy one. They haven't been researching. If they did that, they probably are ordering.
Right.
So
Emerald Culpepper is wondering if there are any metal skid plates that come on a Lobo.
If it comes with skid plates. Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I'd have to look back at my Lobo video. Because if it comes, or if they can be ordered with it, I don't know. Right. I would think anything that's available in the trimmer should fit it.
Yeah.
Right? It should fit. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there might be something under there that's different that might get in the way, but I would think that any skid plates that are available on the trimmer should be available on the Lobo.
Yes.
I don't know if Lobo necessarily comes with it because it's mainly considered a street truck, but no, he's looking at it for racing.
Rally.
It might be better. I mean,
well, he said the Lobo isn't lower than, what was it? The Subaru WRX. Mm-hmm. It's no lower than that. And so oh, here it is. The Lobo is certainly higher than a Subaru WRX STI, my main competition in rallycrossing. So for him, that might be the way to go.
You need a mach-e rally, to be honest. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
think you had a mach-e rally, you wouldn't lose. You might. I mean, but because did you hear about that one that engineer that took in a stock one and yeah, because you get great acceleration right off the bat when you need it. It's there. It's accelerated.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. When you look at the Lobo, what's great about the Lobo is it is kind of it's the tremor. It's the tremor DNA lowered, and with
Yes.
performance brakes and some other stuff that's
So, I
made
mean,
for racing, right? So it really
add
is
some
your
off-road,
racing tremor.
add some off-road tires, some skid plates. And a tire than what you're racing against, you should be good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you should be good.
I think it would really probably step up your game on that.
So, if
in
it
the sense
doesn't
of
come with skid
performance.
plates, most likely the tremor skid plates will work for you.
I would
You
think
just
so.
might, the front end is a little bit different with that front end.
Yeah.
So, you might have to look at something there, but
Yeah, because it won't look the same. But at least for like your fuel tank and stuff, I would
Yeah.
assume that I don't know what's on the trimmer, but if it's been working for you now, you probably know what's under there better than I do. You probably could use those on it and order those through parts.
ML Culpepper's Lobo is shiftable.
Ooh, yeah, with that 7-speed.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know. Basically, it's missing a gear. I can't remember. Is it second? Is it second gear? Does it go straight from first to third? I don't know. It's the same one they put in the Edge ST, right? I think it's the same 7-speed. So it's basically it's their 8-speed with one of the gears taken out, if I remember right. So which I forgot to mention in one of my
Tremor
videos.
has amazing skid plates.
Okay, so you should be able to order those through parts and say, I just need the skid plates for the trimmer. I mean, as long as you have a trimmer, like your VIN on your trimmer, you can say, I just need a replacement one. And
yes.
So, but yeah, I think, man, that would be a great.
Because that's what he has. He has a trimmer.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that'd be a great one for you. Because like I said, it has the same advanced 4-wheel drive system as the trimmer. And it's an all-wheel drive and everything. And it's lowered. So it has performance springs and then it has performance brakes. Yeah. And yeah, so definitely. And then of course with that 7-speed, well, VTEC can tell you. Anyway, I think him and VTEC could have some fun.
VTEC may be selling his 2.3 Lincoln Corsair engine for a Maverick. Like, no, he wants to. You can take that engine and put it inside a Maverick.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on schedule?
Let me see. So a lot of people say that they aren't receiving emails for updates from Ford, and we've seen that a lot where Ford hasn't secured the email to those updates accurately. I mean,
you got to communicate with your dealer because the customer today that reached out and said, "Oh, just so FYI," because he said mine's not scheduling and this and that, so he contacts the dealer and lo and behold, it got scheduled last Thursday. He just didn't know it.
Well, we had a Bronco customer of ours contact us and say, "Hey, I'm not receiving the email. I didn't even get the email saying that you placed my order." I advised, well, with the Maverick, Ford didn't have it set up for those emails to go out initially. So it might take a while. Let's try adding a part and taking it off because that works for some Maverick owners to start initiating those emails. Well, it turns out he's in Nevada, so we needed to add the front license plate.
Yeah, and did that initiate his email?
He hasn't seen it yet.
Confirm his email address. That's the other thing.
I did.
Make sure.
Confirmed his email address. We got all that squared away. So hopefully we'll hear from him tomorrow whether or not that worked.
It's very inconsistent. I think they're thinking not that many people are doing it, so they don't have to worry about it anymore. But no, Ford, you still got to get that system working.
Well, and
so
he's like, well, if Ford was sending me these emails, then I wouldn't have to keep bugging you for updates. So I think people like it because one, their dealer doesn't update them, and two, they don't have to bug their dealer if Ford's updating them. So people like those emails.
I'm sorry, but it's a dealer's job.
I know.
It's called follow-up, folks.
Which I told him, I said, I would tell the customer, we don't know if those emails are entirely not accurate. But If you would like us to update you weekly, we can certainly do that.
So our sales guy, when our orders get scheduled, and I don't know if this is happening because I don't get them because I'm not included in that, but when our orders get scheduled and it's a retail order, our sales guys get text messages from the inventory coordinator, the ones that schedule that puts the vehicles in there. She lets them know that here's the order numbers for what models got scheduled for you. And it's there. It's a great opportunity for the sales guys. I don't think all of them are doing it, and they're not probably doing a great job. But it's a great opportunity at that point to then call their customers and go, "Hey, you got scheduled." So the dealer can get that information, and like we have it ingrained into our system for our inventory coordinator because we'd like to see that for stock ordering as well. But there's a report dealers can pull that shows everything got scheduled for you. I like to do is I just go into each model and I see what's been scheduled and I pull a report. And I save all those each week, for all of them, and I add them too, and I just keep hey, here's what's vehicles that are scheduled, and what their start scheduling date is. But yeah, anyway, all right. But yeah, unfortunately, the email system is not very accurate right now. And the best thing for you to do is if you think it's been several weeks, is to contact your dealer. Especially follow us. And if we go, hey, they're scheduling this week, and this is the retail only, then if you don't hear from your dealer on Thursday, then call them Friday and go, if I got scheduled because I didn't receive an email, and then ask them, and then hey, let me go check, and you got scheduled. So that's the easiest thing is to do is they schedule on Thursday, call the dealer on Friday. It's usually by the afternoon. You should be able to even contact them at 4 or 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock right before they close, and they can look it up because by then they'll be scheduled typically.
Yeah. So. If by chance my Maverick Lariat doesn't get scheduled before build 2, do they automatically move your order and add the build 2 features, or do you have to reorder?
No, you have to reorder. It'll stay in there. It will flip to a job 2 at that point. And to know that is on the order sheet, the WebDo sheet, it'll actually have a line item like it's like an option has been added, and it'll say a job 2 order. And when that happens, I'll show you an example of that in one of the Maverick Mondays or whatever. But when that does flip, it'll say job 2 on the new sheet. So
ML Culpepper is wondering if it comes from factory with the skid plates because he can't modify and run stock class. He wants to run stock class with it.
I see. I don't think they come. Okay, hold on. I don't know if it comes with skid plates. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look up the order guide, which I could probably do, but yeah, I can look it up, but Maverick. All right. Any other questions? While I try to find that.
I'm going through. They got chatty while I was pulling up questions. Has anyone been able to drive an all-wheel drive hybrid Maverick yet? Has one even been produced by now? They started production on them. They just haven't shipped out yet.
Yeah, we had a bunch that actually said non-shippable on on a lot of our hybrid orders. All right, so I'm looking. I don't see anything under mechanical features for Lobo as stock. And then I don't see anything on there.
Okay.
Nope. So there doesn't look like there's anything that they add to it differently than a regular Maverick, because it says Lobo is in here is XLT features plus these. So they don't put any skid plates on an XLT, then they won't on a Lobo. And then when you go 702A is basically that's just your Lariat equipment in a sense. And then let me look and see if there's anything optional.
So he can add skid plates.
Oh.
He just can't add performance mods.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any option for
skid plates. You'd have to add.
Not a bad idea for them to add. I might throw that out to the brand managers. Hey, have you ever thought, since some of these people could use these in rallycross?
Yeah, it's not
a good idea to add skid
from
plates.
my understanding, rallycross is not rough terrain. It's just
gravel and
stuff.
Dirt and that kind of stuff that can kick up and hit the oil pan and hit your fuel tanks.
Yeah.
Right.
So, last question. Greg Beard ordered a 25 Maverick Lariat on 8/2. Still not scheduled. Dealer says they have allocations. Any idea what's holding it up? So we cannot see orders from other dealers. We can't see how many allocations they have. So our best suggestion is to talk to your dealer, ask how many allocations they have, how many orders they have. I talked to someone that said that their dealer has 60 allocations, and I said, for a month or a year? And he answered a year. I'm like, okay, that's 5 allocations a month on average. So
it doesn't mean you're going to get 5 each month. One month
right.
might.
It doesn't mean you'll get 5 each month, and it doesn't mean that you'll get scheduled in the first round or the second round, even if you were the first or second to place your order.
Be honest, I think your dealer's nuts because I don't think they know what they're talking about, because Ford did not give us a yearly number
No.
this
Well,
year. They did not.
yeah.
For 25 model year, it's month in, it's month to month. It is no longer, the formula is no longer, here's what it is for the year. They did that last year. So that's probably their last year number when they did that, because now they don't do it that way.
Right. But my suggestion would be to talk to your dealer.
I mean, he's probably just in general thinking, is there any clue that we might have to tell him? And I can tell you that Lariats are scheduling without any issues.
Yeah.
Lariat all-wheel drives, black appearance package, none of them have any constraints on them. Now, I will say this, the more of those accessories you have, the more likely it is that your order can get overlooked, even if they have an allocation. So you can, I've seen this happen in a lot of orders. We had some people that were real early last year that didn't get scheduled because they had 6 or 7 dealer installed options on their order. So what has to happen is, let's say you have an order that has a tonneau cover, and it has the bed divider, and it has, you know, something else a dealership has to install. All 3 of those have to be readily available, and the production level has to be right. Tonneau covers is a very, very small number. So the capacity could be 25% for Lariats, but tonneau cover capacity is probably like 5%. So,
or take skid plates, not skid plates. Splash guards.
Yeah.
Splash guards are 1%.
So I suggest you, and I try to say this on my videos, is I encourage you not to put too many of those dealer installed options on your order, and especially those bed covers. And Ford doesn't like when I tell people that, but I've even talked to the brand manager, and I was like, you know, we have the capacity to build those. And I said, I can still tell you I've had orders overlooked because of it, because yes, you can, but if nationally there's 12 of the 1,600 orders, if all those, you know, a bunch of them, well, we saw it with that. Well, F-150 note in here was that they need orders without the tonneau cover. That's another instance where there's too many people are ordering that. And I know it's nice. You'd like to just be able to order it that way. And when it comes in, it's done. But it's not just done, because it's going to come in and the dealership's going to install it for you. So you better hope your dealership knows how to install these things and can install them correctly. Like, we're awesome. We have our aftermarket, Niles and them, that do a great job.
Amazing aftermarket.
Right? They're amazing. They know what they're doing. And we have specific people, techs, that work with those, that do those certain things, that work with we have special technicians for our aftermarket some stuff, but not every dealership does. And if it's like a lot of dealers do it, is they give like one vehicle to set up in the morning to each technician. And then those techs, you know, do the normal checks. But then if it's a dealer installed option, they have to put it on, and they may not have done that many of those. So then they're like, well, I don't know. Because, you know, like we had somebody that did all of ours, you know, so he got good at putting on some of these things. So again, I really say try to keep those dealer installed options off your order. If it comes from the factory, floor liners, some of those things, you know, whatever. But if it's a dealer installed options, I say try to nix any of them and all of them that you can off your order. And I you know, that might help too. So I don't know what you have on your order without, like she said, without knowing what your order is to say what's holding it up. But that really can be, it could be something small like that, but that can be what it is to hold it up. Now, you're only one of 1,600 that's not scheduled. So, but again, I've also, like this week, you're going to probably see some dealers where they'll have some retail orders that don't get scheduled, but a stock one does. Because remember, they are looking for some things that they can fit into those December build dates, like Tremor and like XLT, right? They need some of those orders. And so they're going to look to schedule those. Well, if a dealer has a Tremor order in their system as a stock order, that's going to get scheduled over retail. because that's the first thing that they look at is the configuration that they can schedule for, right? And if they've already scheduled out all their Lariat, all their XL capacity, then they're not going to schedule a Lariat. Right, we saw that was very limited availability. So that could be, it could be the fact that most of that's been fulfilled, and that's why yours won't get scheduled. And it may take until the February production for it to get fulfilled at this point. I don't know. So, but I would take off any accessories definitely and see if that helps. But anyway, getting a little deja vu from last year, because that was a big, especially early on, a big topic. I mean, they tell me that, spray and bed liner is not an issue because they have plenty of production, but still when you look, and they haven't given us any numbers on what the production numbers are on that. They don't, well, let's see here. I got a commodity report here. Let's see if they actually have tonneau covers on there. If I can find it. Here we go. Go to Maverick. Actually, I went past Maverick. Actually, they have no control commodity issues right now, they're saying. Even bed covers at this point. But I don't know. I still believe, though, if you have too many of those DIOs, it has to have all those. So I would nix them. Sorry. And you could say, well, you know what? I do have 4 on there. And what we did with one customer is we're like, well, let's take 2 off. What are 2 things that you could get and put on yourself? Do you think we can get it through? We can have it here for you. We can order it through parts and through aftermarket instead and have it here for you when your vehicle gets here. And then we can have it ready. And even we can put it on if you want. We'll just order it outside of the factory build. So we tried that. And then that still didn't get scheduled. So then the next month what we did was, actually it was a week. It was like a month-long process, but then we took off 2 more items and 2 more things. And then we end up putting them on here, but we ordered them through Ford accessories instead. And we had them here. In a sense, it was still a dealer stalled option. It's just, we did it that way. And we even helped the not charged them for some of those installs because Ford would not, wouldn't allow you on a DIO. But so, and I get that, because if you order DIO, then the dealership basically can't charge you for installing it. But if you order it and then give it to the dealership and ask them to do it, then they're going to charge you for the install. So I get why people want to do the DIOs, but here's a situation where it could be. So I don't know if he's commented or not, if he's got some things on it, but anyway, so there you go. There's that. Anything else?
No.
Over and over on that, but.
So even though the Lobo is marketed as a street truck, doesn't mean it has to be a street truck.
No.
It can be used for whatever you want to use it for.
I mean, like, he's going to do, like, if he got it, he would just buy some all-terrain tires and trade out the tires so that he can rally across with it.
Yeah.
Special rally wheels or tires, I mean.
Yeah.
Actually, they come with pretty good rally-type wheels. Right?
Yes.
Because those are good, like what I have, and they would be good to, so rocks don't get in there. The big purpose of that is those wheels is that you don't have to worry about, the smaller holes will allow so rocks won't get in there. Anyway. All right. Okay. Let's get into dealer news. Okay, I only have a couple things here to talk about. One of them is, let's say, the introduction of the new search inventory experience on Ford.com. And so it says that on November 6th, Ford began the initial launch of the new look and feel of the search inventory tool. It says the full rollout is expected to be completed by December 5th of 24. And the new search inventory tool applies to electric and internal combustion vehicles. So it allows you to look and search on dealers' inventory. And so similar to Ford.com experience today, the new search inventory tool will display all ICE and electric vehicles within the search results page. This new look and feel will provide more consistency across the ICE and electric vehicle showroom. If a dealer is e-commerce enabled, then electric vehicles will display a dealer selling price on the vehicle display details page. The new search inventory experience will also provide customers with the option to submit a lead to a dealer for ICE vehicles. For electric vehicles, customers will have the option to add to a cart and initiate or complete checkout, which may include Ford Motor Credit Company financing. So that's so that they're updating that. So they're trying to, I think before, basically you went to a specific area for the electric vehicles and said, I want to do the build and buy. So now they're updating it instead of a build and buy, evidently, and just allowing for the inventory to be in there. So, which F-150 Lightning, the only way that you can get one is through inventory search or through, you can do build and buy. And if it's close enough, it'll tell you that 4 weeks. That means a dealer can get it really quickly. And it really doesn't take 4 weeks. I can tell you that because we've gotten some. All right, next one up is, I don't know if you saw, but it's Ford is ready for the holiday season. They have started their holiday campaigns going out, and you're going to see, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the different commercials lately, but they have this Ford Crew that they're introducing for this year, and they said they might incorporate that more into next year as well for 25. But you'll see they have some fun videos. They're doing Black Friday stuff. They're doing some truck family, Bronco family. I saw they actually showed us the commercials, and there's one for the Bronco that they kind of say, you know, they talk about trucks coming off, and somebody's in charge of putting all the decorations up, and a couple people in charge of the Broncos, and they say goat modes, go over any type of terrain. They make a big deal about that. And one of them, they said, yeah, somebody took the Bronco out mudding overnight, and then they're like, well, I can't believe they did that. And then the new hire has muddy boots, and they're like, nice boots. Pretty good. It's a pretty funny commercial.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are hitting out there, and so they did very cheap rates on a lot of things. Like you're talking 1.9% on a lot of 24 model year stuff, including Explorer and Escapes, which we don't have any of. But you can find those. F-150s is like 1.9% right now, which is crazy cheap. You can save a lot of money. Financing for 60 months at 1.9 instead of like a 5.9 could save you a lot of money. So there's some pretty good rates out there. And well, last week we talked about them, I think. Didn't I talk about those last week? I think I did.
Pretty sure.
There's some ridiculous lease deals on F-150 Lightning and the Mach-E. So check those out as well if you're interested in those. So, all right. And lastly, I have is that Ford conquers the Baja 1000 this year in 2 different classes. So, all right. So let me go through this. Ford Performance achieved a double victory in the grueling 2024 Baja 1000 off-road race held this past weekend, November 16th and 17th. Yeah, that was last weekend. And the Bronco DR, a purpose-built desert racer, won the heavy metal limited class, adding to its 3rd win this year, it says. And then the Ford Ranger Raptor, a modified version of the production truck, triumphed in the stock mid-class. You might ask, if they modified it, why is it still stock? Well, they can modify in a way of safety harnesses. So they can add safety to it to make it a race vehicle without changing the DNA, suspension, that kind of stuff. I think they can also change tires for the different grueling, terrain that they have. So I think that's different. So anyway, so they both won. So and then Bailey Campbell, which was in Rebel Rally, she was one of the drivers that ended. They have 3 legs and 2 sets of a driver navigator for each leg that they compete in, and she was in the last leg. So I don't know if she's a driver or navigator, but there you go. So pretty cool. So you can check out their social medias for that information, but pretty cool to see that they're doing well. And I think that's the second time the Ranger Raptor was been in the Baja, because I think it was in the Baja before it came to the U.S. I think they competed there. So anyway, there you go. That's the dealer news. Don't wait.
Yeah.
We got some news on something else during the is it true? We'll get into that a little bit here. All right.
So have we heard any Transit Connect is done in the US, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you won't see Transit Connect in the US because we did have a question about that.
Unless dealers have some left over.
Right, but there won't be a 25. So.
Nope. And they just said U.S. production, so I don't know if they're still making it. And somebody said, oh, they're going to move the production to somewhere else. They might, and they truly might. They might make it a Europe-built vehicle and still do it in Europe, because Europe likes the smaller vehicles. Their roads, they have to be. We'll talk about that when we get to Ranger. That their how long they can be and how narrow they can be is limited. So the Transit Connector is a great vehicle in Europe. So they might continue to still make that in Europe.
Yeah.
It's a very possibility. When they say U.S. production is up, that makes me think that they're not done with it. So
yeah.
Some of these vehicles are global vehicles that they make other parts of the country. So
Well, and even they could produce and ship to Canada, but not the U.S., or ship to Mexico and not
typically
the
U.S. Canada and U.S. markets are usually
Yeah.
pretty similar, but Europe
And
Europe and
then-
the U.S. are very different.
Yeah, Europe and Australia, on the other hand, tend to seem the
Yeah.
same.
Which is why we'll see some vehicles that we like that are in Europe that we don't see here, and we're like, we want those.
We don't get them.
No.
They're reserved
Like
only for.
Well, they make it. They have an all-electric Explorer there, but it's not a third row Explorer. It's a 2-row because it's smaller, a little bit smaller,
Yes.
and it's an all-electric version.
you
So
have
we
to
don't
think-
see that here.
You have to think about the fact that their streets and roads were built for horses and some carriages, but when they were initially built, they were initially built for horses, not for lots of room.
Yep. All right, recalls.
Yes.
All right, have a few recalls here. This first one has to do with, actually, if you got some Mavericks out there, it could affect yours. So this is safety recall 23S33. This is actually a supplement. This recall has actually been out. I told you about this back in May. This is a PCM software update, and this is a supplement to that. So basically, the vehicle population and build dates have been updated. So if yours wasn't affected by this in the past, back in May, it could be now. So we'll let you know. So we'll talk. Let me get into this. So this is for 21 to 22 Corsair plug-in hybrids, 20 to 22 Escape hybrids or plug-in hybrids, and 22 to 24 Maverick hybrids with the 2.5 liter engine. So about 9,280 vehicles are affected by this. For the Escape, if you were built between November 6th of 2019 through December 15th of 2022, then you could be affected by this. If you are a Maverick built March 11th of 2021 through April 9th of 2024, you could be affected, but not everyone, because it's only 9,000. Right. So that just opens it up that there's a possibility that yours could be affected. So the reason for this recall is in all affected vehicles, a recent update to the hybrid powertrain control modular software calibration may falsely set diagnostic trouble code U1010 and or U1011 and result in a forced neutral condition while driving, resulting in the vehicle coasting to a stop and automatically shifting to park, along with a wrench light, multiple warning messages in the instrument panel cluster, and an audible chime. After shifting back into drive, the vehicle will enter a limp home mode, which provides limited torque at low speeds up to 30 miles per hour. So if that's happened to you, then this probably does affect yours. Does say owners of vehicles included in the original population were mailed on May 22nd of 2024. Owners of vehicles added to this program will be mailed letters the week of December 2nd of 2024 or sooner. Normally don't say sooner, but there you go. So there is that. Next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24N09, and this is for 2023 model year Transit, as well as Expedition Navigator and F-150s, all with the 10R80 transmissions. So it says this program, it can provides a no-cost one-time repair if needed to the vehicle's 10R80 transmission for 10 years of service or 150,000 miles from the warranty start date of the vehicle, whichever occurs first. This is a one-time repair program. If the vehicle has already exceeded either the time or mileage limits, this no-cost one repair will last through November 30th of 2025. All right, so this in here only affects 726 vehicles. Transits and F-150s built in Kansas City. Expeditions and Navigators, of course, built in Kentucky. So mostly it's transits that are affected by this. Only 25 navigators, only 6 F-150s, and only 151 expeditions. And it says reason for this: no cost to repair. That some of the affected vehicles customers may initially experience a gear grinding noise from the transmission in reverse, which could progress to illumination of the check engine light and or transmission wrench light. If the customer continues to operate the vehicle, this could progress to a loss of transmission torque, resulting in a vehicle speed limitation and inability to shift to reverse. So says letters are expected to be mailed the week of November 18th or sooner. So there you go. All right. Next one is recall. It's a safety recall. This is an advance notice. So this is for dealers mainly, but for those of you that have these, here's an advance notice. Just know that not all dealers see these right away, so be patient with them. But this is safety recall 24S70 for 2024 to 2025 F-150s, 24 expeditions, and 24 navigators. And so there's 2,412 vehicles affected by this. And in affected vehicles have a 3.5 liter GTDI engine that may have a misaligned cup plug located at the rear of the engine, which may result in a rapid oil leak. An oil leak in the presence of an ignition source, such as a hot engine or exhausted components, can result in a risk of a fire. In addition, the loss of oil can result in loss of motive power, increasing the risk of a crash, of course. And letters says owners of record will be notified via first class mail the first week of December of 2024. So there you go. And let's see this. I think there's two more. Yeah, two more. All right. This in here is an update prior to sale, 24U11. So for 24 model year Broncos, and it says with a passive entry, passive start. That's your key. That's your basically your intelligent access and push button start, basically. So this program will be in effect through November 30th of 2025 for unsold vehicles or up to 60 days post the warranty start date. So 6,691 vehicles are affected by this that were built between November 27th of 2023 through September 1st of 2024. And so the reason for this one here is one of the two keys provided with the vehicle may not have been successfully programmed during the production. A key that was not successfully programmed will not unlock the doors using the passive entry, passive start, or start the vehicle. A no key detected message will display in the instrument panel cluster when attempting to start the vehicle with an unprogrammed key. The physical buttons on the affected key fob will lock and unlock the doors, and the vehicle can be started if the key fob is placed in the backup slot, right? Located in the center console storage compartment. So there's programs and information in here. So this is supposed to happen on vehicles when they come in. They update this, fix the key fobs before it can be sold. So there's no reason for letters to go out because that should be taken care of by the dealer before they sell the vehicle. So this next one is Safety Recall 24S64. This is an update, supplement number 1 for 24 to 25 model year Broncos and Rangers. So this first we talked about, actually, I think it was just a couple weeks ago. November 6th is when the first original recall came out. And this is for 2,391 vehicles that are affected by this that were built June 1st, 24 through September 5th of 24. And this has to do with the loose or missing upper ball joint fastener. We did talk about this in one of our live streams. So reason for this recall in some of the affected vehicles, the nut and the bolt joint, which secures the front upper control arm to the knuckle assembly, may not have been installed or torqued to specification. This can result in separation of the front upper control arm from the knuckle assembly. A separation of the front upper control arm from the knuckle assembly may result in loss of directional control, increasing the risk of a crash. So the update on this is they updated the labor allowances for dealers. So looks like they're getting close to being able to do this recall. Letters are supposed to go out this week. So there you go. That is it for recalls.
All right.
tweaked my back, so I got. If you hear some oohs and ahs, it's because my back hurts. All right.
No questions about that.
A couple Bronco ones in there and a Maverick one. All right.
Mhm.
Let's get on to the fun stuff. All right, let's talk about this. Is it true? 2026 Ranger Super Duty. Is it a Ranger? Is it a Super Duty? What is this? So Ford put this out, and actually it's in Ford of Australia or New Zealand, I think, actually put this out. So this is news from there for the 26 model year, which is coming up soon for them. I don't know. Anyway, so it does say Super Duty down in here, and this is, can you, actually I can't see that. Maybe I got to click on it. There you go. It does say Super Duty down there. So what is this? So this is a Ranger. This is a trim level or a package available for the Ford Ranger, and this is all we have information. Well, what's this down here? It says, you spoke, we built. It says a mid-sized truck that allows you to tow more. So 4,500 kilograms of towing, as well as GVM, which is gross vehicle. Oh man, I can't remember what the M is. Anyway, and then gross combined. Anyway, whatever the M is, I can't remember. But basically, 4,500 kilograms equates to almost 10,000 pounds of towing, which is equivalent to what an F-150 can tow with an EcoBoost, right? And then also the same way, 10,000 pounds for what can be carried in basically the bed. Now, I'm going to show you an article from The Drive, which Ford has actually been promoting their link and their website to this to showcase this. And then 8,000 kilograms would be what? That's almost a double. It's like 17,000 gross vehicle combined vehicle weight ratio is basically what that means. So that includes your what you can tow, what can go in the back in the bed, and then also what can go inside. So people, cargo, that kind of stuff. So that's what that. So it's going to enhance that. So I assume a major suspension upgrade for this, but also it's got to be some sort of motor upgrade as well. And they're really big into diesel motors in Australia and Europe.
Yeah.
So there are some people out there that have speculated. Some people, there's some people out there that put videos out saying this is coming to the U.S. Folks, this, I don't believe this is coming to the U.S. And some people have said, well, you know, they first introduced the Ranger for the new body style Ranger, the current one, a year earlier in Australia, and then we got it a year later. But they also told us they were doing to do that.
Right.
If you guys watched our live stream at all, and you have for a while, I actually talked about the Ranger, the new body style Ranger that was going to be in Europe in 23 and for the US in 24. And that's exactly what happened. And Ford told us that. They said it is coming to the US. They said the Ranger Raptor was coming to the US. They told us that ahead of time. They didn't just all of a sudden the next year it was available to us. So some people think that's going to be the case with this, where they're going to have it in Europe and then they're going to bring it to the US. Here's my take on this. We don't need this.
Right.
We have an F-150. Right? We don't need a Ranger that can tow this type of stuff. The Ranger is a great off-road truck for the U.S. and a great way to tow a little bit more for a little bit bigger trailer and such for some things. But we have the F-150. We don't need this type of truck. And actually, I'm going to show you the Drive and what they are seeing driven around over there. And that's a truck similar to this, where it is basically a flatbed. And I don't know if you knew this, but the last version of the Ranger, they actually had a bed delete option. Not many people chose it in the US, but it was a big one that was chosen in Europe because then they could put flatbeds on it, because they don't have F-150s over there. They can't have that big of a truck. They're limited on how long they can be, how wide they can be, that kind of thing. And so the Ranger is basically the F-150 in Europe. In Australia, this is what they drive. This is what the Ranger is actually the #1 selling truck in Australia. I think it's Australia, if I remember right. And so this is a huge deal, for them, because you can see that. And I actually show some pictures of the suspension and different things of this particular truck, and you can see it does have this nice big flatbed, and the sides can come down, and you can see the suspension and the upgrades on that, which is, that's where they're getting, man, that massive, amount of towing capability and payload capabilities for this truck. And I'm surprised they actually are, masking that. I mean, I could see the grill being updated, but it doesn't look like it is. But so this here, I guess my big thing on this is I don't see this coming to the US. Don't get your hopes up if you're wanting this, because there are some people that said, hey, we need a Ranger with a 6-foot bed. Like, we don't even have we don't have very many F-150s with a 6-foot bed right now,
Right.
let alone a Ranger. But so they're going to get a kick out of this, and there are going to be people. We're already going to see it. I could see people asking me, hey, this is coming to the US. No, I don't believe it is. And
Right.
they said this is Europe. They have not said this is something that's going to come to the US in 2027. Right? We have trucks that can
So it's to meet the overlanding demand in Australia, because there's a lot of people that overland.
Okay, yeah, in US too.
Yes.
And the Rangers are a great overland vehicle now, but
Yeah.
this here is not for overlanding. This is for the commercial truck buyers and the fleet buyers in Australia. Can you see? You probably heard. She can't see this monitor, but this is that flatbed, that towing capable. This isn't for overlanding. This is for hauling stuff and pulling stuff and trailers.
Because I could see how that could be helpful
that's-
on overlanding trailers to people's homes and whatnot.
Okay. You can't. She can't see.
No, I can't.
Let me pull this over here. This is what we're talking about.
Oh.
Right. This is adding more 10,000 pounds of towing. People don't need to tow 10,000 pounds of camper into the Outbacks. So this is all about hauling and towing and pulling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She's learning the trucks here. Give her some time. But anyway, so that's what that's about. But yeah, that's not coming to the US. But it's exciting to see what Europe's getting, because they don't have an F-150, right? And I think more Australia and New Zealand's getting this more than anything. But because I think in Europe I think they're starting to ship some F-150s to Europe, but in certain areas that can handle, the roads can handle it. But like we said, Ranger. And then there are some people that have put out some images of like dualies on the Ranger. I don't think that's happening. Don't really probably need a dually to handle that. But this is probably what you're going to see right there. But anyway, so actually, they're not seeing the image either, because I didn't share.
No.
I didn't share the image.
Because
now you guys can see it. Now you can see it.
Because I got my thought off of someone else's comment that said it's to meet S. Waltz. Said it's to meet the overlanding demand in Australia.
Yeah, they already. I mean, the Ranger, the current configuration of the Ranger is a great overland.
Okay, but how many people need something fixed or done at their property?
Yes, or they need a tow. Gross vehicle mass is what they call it. Thank you, Bucko. Gross vehicle mass.
Yes.
And gross combined mass. So anyway, but there you go.
I can see Australian farmers wanting that. If there's farmers or cattle ranchers, I don't know what they have.
Oh yeah, and I think they already have a Ranger bed delete option in Europe, like they did have in the US, that they did away with because they realized people didn't order it here, but they ordered it in Australia. So there's a reason why Rangers kind of the focus. Australia is the focus for the Ranger, and like I said, it's the #1 selling vehicle there, or truck there, I should say. That's going to be the focus market area for that. And that's why the Ranger is so important. We don't see a lot of Rangers being sold here. That I think this would not necessarily help the Ranger sell more. I mean, people could still probably put a flatbed on a Ranger if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But we saw, because that option was available and people weren't ordering them, that's why they did away with it. Ford does away with certain things because people aren't ordering them, which so there you go. Okay. So there's that. That's my Is It True? That was kind of fun. Anyway, but yes. And actually they said #1 selling ute. So evidently utility.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have to be an SUV. sport utility. It can be a truck utility.
Goes back and forth between Ranger and Helix.
Yeah. All right. And I don't really usually follow the Europe market much. There's
a lot going on here.
I have a lot of stuff going on. I don't have time to do that. And I'm not. Yeah. So anyway, so we'll probably write an article about that and talk about that and our opinion on that and whether or not we'll see that in the US. And yeah, so there's some out there that say it's coming. I can be proven wrong. I've been wrong before, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell. All right. On my mind.
What is on your mind this week?
It's time to get ready for shopping. And we're going to need you guys to tell us what are things that you like and you want. Now, we on the Maverick yesterday, we talked about Mabbit. And things you can get. They have a store on Amazon, so you can get a lot of fun stuff there. And if you're a Maverick owner and you don't like those cloth orange seats and the speckled seats, you can get seat covers, which are very popular. Somebody actually said they have those seat covers and I like them. They're black, so then you can go with that, and you get the black insert that goes in the console, which is kind of cool, and all that. But we can talk about not only just Maverick, but also other ones. So you can go, of course, if you go to Amazon, and actually let's just do this. Boop. There we go. So you can go to Amazon. In fact, this is where I was covering, and you can actually search, and you can go to certain stores, and you can find their stores there, and you can just, if you just search for it, right? So like if I go to IAG, and I go Bronco, there you go. See, that's what we're talking about here. Then they have I think they have a store too. Just shop their store, and you can see all their IAG stuff, right? So I like shopping IAG. They're one of my favorite providers of Bronco stuff here. But you can shop and see what all they have, and you can see their Bronco Raptor parts and their lighting. They actually divide theirs up into several sections for parts. So that's something if you're looking, and we might actually talk about specific things that you could get for some of those people in certain price ranges. We kind of did that on Maverick last year, certain price ranges. And some of these things, Bronco, there are some great inexpensive things. And if you look online, there are so many like very inexpensive things you can get for some people. It's like these cup holders in the back. They're very inexpensive. The struts are less than $100. These grab handles, those are very inexpensive as well, like $20. The dome light kit is less than I think $100 or less than 150. Hey, they even have the wireless charging pad if you want. So wireless charging pad is going away for 25 model year. Here's a way to add it back.
Yeah.
But we don't know how that console is. It might have to wait until 25 comes out. But tube doors is an option, but that's a little more expensive. But there are some very inexpensive ideas. This one's a little more pricey. They're soft release. I have that on mine. They have tailgate tables. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for stuff, they have some mats you can get. That would be inexpensive. Some other things like that. So there's some great ideas you can get. I'd encourage you, if you're, one of these chargers that's not promoting that in this, but it's always good to have a little jump box, and you can get those for under $100 usually. You can get that through Walmart if you wanted, but little pockets for Broncos and that kind of stuff, and the little front inserts. There's a lot of things IAG has that are less than $100. That is a great source for you to do. And look at that. That looks like fun right there. Come on now. Oh, that's my. I guess they're highlighting their underbody protection stuff there.
I was gonna say, are they
their
field
skid
testing?
Plates. That's the promote their skid plates protection.
Oh.
But there you go. That just looks like fun. Anyway, so you have that. IAG is a great source for that. You have some other ones to drop down some places that you like to shop for things in some different companies. But when it comes to, I might go back and forth between Bronco and Ranger here. But Mabbit also has things for Bronco as well, if you're wanting to look for Bronco stuff. So actually, I think that you can go to their section there and see Yeah, they have Bronco. Well, we just did Bronco. So there's Maverick, there's Bronco. So you can look for Bronco accessories through them as well, and they have some cool stuff for inside the vehicle. And they have a lot of inexpensive things. Where like, hey, this was a something we noticed was a flaw or something we could add. They even have cup holders on the back as well. I did see this for the Maverick that they have for the Bronco as well, that pulls that air straight up to the people in the seat. So like if you have pets, then you can direct it right onto your pets.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So they
So
have something like that, so I can direct it towards my kids.
yeah. They have interior light kits as well, and I think theirs originally when IAGs came out, it was one of the first ones on the market, and that one was tied into when your doors open. This in here was tied right into your the rear back light. So when that back light's on, which that comes on when you hit the switch up there for that, and now IAG now has the wiring for that, which I have not installed yet. Still need to do that, but oh, do they have the? That looks a lot like IAG's. Got a little bit of copying here. Pretty cool side steps and some other things. So they have some great options too. They have seat covers for Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there you go. There's some company. There's what is another one? Moosology, right? Or is that how you say it?
Moosology.
Oh, is this it right now?
Yeah.
All right, so they have some cool stuff too. Do they not have a store? I don't know. They may not have a store, but they have a bunch of stuff too that you can get. They have a little thing cubby that goes on top of the Bronco. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right spelling. Oh, here, Moosalala. See, we spelled it wrong. Let's go into this, and we should be able to get into their store, right? Here, visit their store. There we go. So there's their store. They have Bronco stuff too.
Yeah.
And so they have some different stuff in there, and then there's their Maverick stuff. So you can get Maverick stuff as well. So they have a lot of stuff. See, they have that. I had that tray in my Maverick, and they have some other things. They even have Toyota Tundra stuff, but we're not in here talking about that. ID4. So yeah, they work with a lot of companies. So that's another one to look for. There's also Sticker Fab. Getting there, make sure I get there first. So Sticker Fab's also another place you can go to, and let me share that screen. So Sticker Fab is a great place that they have stuff for Broncos. They have stuff for Mavericks.
Ooh, I like those green accents.
Go to Ford. They have Bronco, Ranger, Maverick. So you have a lot of different things, and they do a lot like with stickers and of course, but there's some Maverick stuff that you can get. So actually, that's a Bronco, but they have a lot of stuff for the back of Broncos that go on the console.
That was a Maverick.
There's Maverick. You can go on there. That's a Bronco though. So some of these are confusing. On multiple models, so that's probably why they're showing it. But they have a lot of different things you can add. I did through Sticker Fab. I think I did a door sill plate thing.
Yeah,
it was in there that was available. Your letters for your Mavericks and overlays for your Bronco letters. Right. I think you can get those. Those are Sticker Fab. They got carbon fiber kits. So there's a lot of things from them as well. So there's a company you can go through. What are some of the ones people are saying? Are they putting some stuff in there?
No. Oh, Mabit underseat vent deflectors for Ford Bronco.
Yep. What else? All right.
Not really much.
Now, for a little more money, you can go with Mountains to Metal.
Here we go. Bought the small personal tire inflator from Amazon. It was cheap, sub $30. It was the Gulu GT 150. We could fill all 4 tires on one battery. Oh, sorry. You'll get some water.
Mountains to Metal. I actually have a couple of their things. Theirs are a little more pricey because it's like they do have some door inserts and everything, some Molly stuff, but they have some really cool stuff, and I really like their company. They're a U.S. Company, but they make stuff for Broncos. You can go to Bronco stuff, and you can shop their stuff there. And they got some Molly systems, some cargo area systems and stuff as well, and their tray system that I purchases in their cargo area. So it's well, that's their super cargo, but you have this up here, this tray that I have that I really like. I will say it does squeak a little because it goes up onto the little around the thing, so that metal squeaks a little. So I'll probably get with them and say, is there a way of stopping that squeaking? But I do love the functionality of this tray, and it goes up. And it might be that I know that it really squeaked when I had my traction boards on it, so I had probably too much weight on it. But it doesn't squeak near as much now. And they also have a tray down here as well that's lower, and then they have side panels as well. So they have a lot of different pretty cool Molly systems, but a lot of stuff's a little pricier because it's all like manufactured steel plates and such that go on the sides and everything. So it does cost a little more money, but that is a company. Diabolical has some stuff as well. What are some other that I'm thinking of? Some other stuff. Like I said, all kinds of different companies. Those are some of the main companies I worked with, but since I noticed the wife's in the house, you have this one right here, the Horsesound car horn. If you have a Bronco, maybe even a Mustang fan, they have others as well. But Boom Blasters is where I got my horn, and you can go there. And they're only $40. It's a pretty good and very easy install as well. And so you can get some different ones. They have the with the wireless, or you can wire it in. But it's pretty cool. I don't know if that'll play and you guys can hear that or not.
Hey everyone, this is our Horsesound car horn.
I don't think
this is
you
our
guys
button
can hear
version. The horn does come with a button, so we've got one wired up here just for example for to show you guys. It's a really simple process. You have your black wire, it goes to a ground somewhere, and then you'll have your red wire going to a hot wire, somewhere 12 volts, and then like I see on the button here, you run your yellow wire off the horn to one side of the button, and then you'll run you another wire
you guys
to
can
a
hear
12
that,
volt.
but
so it's a pretty simple process, guys.
Anyway,
so
so
here
that's
is
pretty
our
cool. You guys can check that out.
Sound car horn.
Those are fun. And you can do it. You can have some of them that just you can wire into your auxiliary switch. You have it, or
process,
I got the wireless version. And
like I said, we got it pointed down here because it's a pretty loud horn. But
anyway,
this
so
is
that's
the easiest
fun.
process, guys.
You can do
here's
that
the
as
button
well.
version of our Horsesound car horns.
Or you just search stuff on Amazon. But you guys got some other ones.
Noco Boost 40 gigabyte portable jump starter.
In fact, what was I think it was
for your switcher or the horn.
I think Mountains and Metal actually had they had some of that stuff here. Oh yeah, they have some stuff here. Some of those there too. So jump starter, that's $100 for that. But they have some. They have a couple of those there. But yeah, you can find those on Amazon as well. So, and then of course, air up, air down. If you got a Bronco, you can go in here to Amazon and find some of those companies. Was it Moreflate? Or tire with compressor, right? This is a little more expensive, but if you want to go into that, but you have this air up, air down tire system. So that's your hoses system for $204, which is pretty typical what I paid. And then you have these. Now I do encourage you, if you're going to do a 4-1, that you get the dual chamber one. That's just a little tip, I think, versus a single chamber. Because I think it works better and it'll take care of everything much faster and does a great job. But that's kind of the system I come up with. Thor Lighting also has them. So Moreflate is Moorflate. You can get it through their website as well, but they might be cheaper in here. And then I end up having to go with the Thor Lighting, or is it Lightning? So I went with theirs, and mine's that one there.
Show.
So, we switched. Darn it. There we go. So the other one's Moreflate, Moorflate. And I was showing up the one, I'll go back to it, but Thor's Lightning is also another one. I have this dual chamber one here, and then they also do have the hoses as well. You can get through them, so they actually have the full kit here. Oh wait, no, that's just the air up and air down for $199. Theirs is in a square bag. I like mine. It's round, or the Morphlite one is round, but that is also one. And they'll like, some of them will say that like their air compressor is like it was designed for them. I do like the carry case though, because mine's just in a bag. But some of them will say that this was designed just for them and such, and no one else makes one. No, if you check this one out, and we were just on the other one a second ago, but if you look at that one and see what it looks like, and then go back to, we were on the, oh, this one over here, you'll see it's the same one. I mean, they'll say it's better or it's designed differently for them. I don't know. I mean, Ragnarcon can tell you, because he actually had posted something about this, because one of them had a sale going on. I think it was Morphlite had a sale going on. So I jumped on that and I ordered the hoses and the air compressor, and they couldn't get me the air compressor. And I waited and waited. I waited for 6 weeks to get the air compressor. And finally I was just like, you know what? I'm not. So I got the Thoros Lightning one on Amazon and had it within a week, and was able to take it because that's when we were going to Moab last year. But a couple different great companies that make some air down, air up kits. And I'm telling you, this is like a game changer in a way of, instead of airing down tires one at a time and airing up one at a time, this is a great system. And what I like about,
I'm thinking of getting one just so I don't have to bring my car in every time my tires slightly low.
We did this on the mach-e. I aired up Jeff's tires because they were a little low going into winter, and then mine were a little low before our trip. I wanted just the right one, and boom, right?
Can I borrow yours?
Yeah, I mean, it's what's great is that I can do that. So like, if I had an air compressor on my Bronco, I can't just go, yeah, can I borrow it? Well, no, it's on my Bronco. But if I have this, I can actually go give that to her and she can use it. And that's one thing I like. Or if you're with a group of other Bronco people and they don't have a system, I got you covered. And then I can air mine up and then give it to them, and they can air up theirs and air down.
Because we did see, like, you were airing up one at a time, and we're like, okay, this is getting old. So we were like,
and it actually stopped. It overheated because it took too long.
And we're like, we need an air compressor. Well, someone had one built in, so they had to come over, drive their vehicle over to us, get positioned, and then hook up,
because theirs was in their engine bay.
Yeah, they wanted to help. They truly did, but they had to come and get close to you and move it. And then I think he had to move to the other side to do the other side.
All you need is an engine with a battery.
Yeah.
So.
But I think he had his built into the engine bay.
I will say this: I tried doing it with the mach-e, and I popped the hood. I'm like, I can't get to the battery without popping this off and that off. It's a lot easier on the Lightning, but so I was like, okay. So I used the Bronco to air up the mach-e, but whatever.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Even though I got all these batteries, I couldn't. Okay, anyway, I could have. I just didn't want to. It was a lot quicker to just get the Bronco close. Anyway, so that. Definitely, I mean, I loved that.
So why should I get one if I can just borrow yours?
I don't know. All right, let's.
Wait, you still have the single tire, right? The other one?
I have yes, I do have. If you want to borrow the rough country one,
yeah,
I have. It's a single chamber rough country, and I have a hose.
That's the one that overheated. But I'm not airing up a Bronco tire. I'm airing up a C-Max tire.
And if it's just like, I was airing up 20 pounds of pressure because I went from 20 to 40.
Right. It's probably a pound or two.
Yeah. In that case, you could do all four pretty easily.
So my C-Max is notorious for changing air pressure with temperature.
So
multiple times.
On our website, you can go to the Bronco build, right? And it shows all the different stuff we've added as we've added it throughout. All the different tops, the things we've added, the rock rails. Some of that stuff is very inexpensive things we've added. Rough country is another place they can get stuff. Hood struts and stuff like that, and the OEM ones, bullet points and other things. Rough country tailgate. I gotta work on the website. It's cutting it off. To talk to Jeff about that. Probably because I just have it too narrow. And I just need to scroll it over. But anyway, yeah, that's some of the stuff. But that's pretty fun. IAG has steps too for your rock rails that are fine. I put these bags on. They're not on now, but they're kind of nice to have. I'd like to get a Molly system on the back. I've just decided.
You've talked about this. You've talked about getting a CB radio.
Yes, I want a Midland.
Now Chris said he got a nice two-way radio antenna bracket from Mountains to Metal. To put on the mirror brackets. He also suggested upfitter switches for the horn.
Yes, what I like is that the upfitter switch works great if you're in the vehicle and it's turned on, right? So then I can flip the switch and that horn goes off. But I have this, so then I'm outside the Bronco. I can just press this.
For example, we were
at the wireless.
We were at Trunk or Treat, and of course it's an outdoor thing, and we're taking pictures, and it goes off. Trunk or treaters walking by. Like, man, that is a Bronco, isn't it?
That's fun. So that's why because I just have it on the remote. So then when I'm outside the Bronco, I can do it and mess with people or just have fun. The switch is nice too, but if I have that inside, like my keys inside.
No, now if he's at a car or at Supercell next year, you can be away from your vehicle. And when you see someone,
we're gonna have your mom's not gonna go to Supercell with me. I can see it now. She'll be like, "Don't do it. Don't."
She's gonna take your keys.
She will. She did that at Halloween. She took them from me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I need to get an extra little remote. So anyway, so there's some of the stuff that I've added, and if you go up to the top, you can actually get the list with the links. And I think we try to do a pretty good job of putting the YouTube video that I put on there. But also, if you go here, you can go to the parts list, and it shows where I got the stuff. Right there, links to it. And so there's some of the different companies. Ford, you can go to Ford Accessories as well to get stuff. IAG, Rough Country, had a lot of Rough Country stuff on there. CJ Pony Parts is another website you can go to. That's where I actually got the Ford OEM tailgate table, but you can get it through for your Ford dealer as well. I got a couple things from them. I had a gift certificate that you can see CJ Pony Parts. I had some gifts, some money that was given to me as a gift card. And so that's why I used CJ. I think it wasn't CJ Pony Parts. Where was that? I don't know. Anyway, I got that from Amazon.
IAG?
No, it was Extreme Off-Road. That's what it was. I got a gift card from them. Extreme Terrain. That's what it was. So that's where I got the traction boards, and I got some other stuff. And it's something else that's kind of fun. It's a little more expensive. Is the Bronco roll bag?
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty fun. I made my own.
Yeah.
But and actually, Ragnicon says I should do a video on mine.
Yes,
so,
you should.
Anyway,
definitely needs some extra interior lighting.
Yes, extra interior lighting for those. The one that I did from IAG. Is this which one is this? Okay, this one here was really nice. And that it was so easy. I installed this in like 5 minutes. Watch the video that I did. So easy to install, and it's $100, and you just basically pop up the old one, the factory one. The wiring's right there. You take this and you wire it in, and you pop it onto place. I think it's double-sided on that thing. Just pops right back on there, and it's touch. So then you can just touch it, and it turns it on.
Right.
And there's a light that comes in the front as well as in the back, right straight down. So a lot of these.
You again are not showing the screen. Good thing I'm here.
I click on the link and then it brings up a second window. I thought it was in the same window. Anyway, so yes. So this here, which is nice. So feel like I have to redo it. $100. Dome light upgrade for a 4-door. You can do one for the 2-door as well. But yes, so that you just click on, and it's a light that comes out the front as well as down, and that is nice. And that comes on with your doors as well, or your overhead light. Now the ones that IG makes, they have a wire kit that wires into the side dome lights, and you can wire into that, which I haven't installed yet. I know it looks easy and it shouldn't take me long, but I just haven't gotten to it. But you have that as well. Yeah. But let's see here, what else? Yeah. So yes, interior lights are a thing. I do have one in the back that I'm actually regretting that I installed. And the reason I can't take back the factory one was that I bent the clip when I took it
Oh.
out because I wasn't sure
Yeah.
where the clips were. And so I can't put it back because the one from IG is bright. I mean, it's like if you are in there, it almost blinds you. You can't look to the right side where it's at and see anything over there because it blinds you. It's that bright. But anyway, so yeah, so there's some good ideas. Anyway,
So what's at the top of your list to do next? Would it be the CB radio or?
I do want the Midland CB radio. I want it hardwired in. So I don't know if I can.
You'll need to show that tab if you can get there.
Oh, it blocked my.
No, you have to go to the www.blah.com and you have to have the HTTPS / thing. Or else the Wi-Fi doesn't let you get to it. I fight this on the daily. It's so much
All
fun.
right, how about I just do this? Because it's. Oh, nope. It just didn't want to do that at all. Nope. It doesn't want to go there. It's blocking it. It's saying it's bad.
All right, what's this called?
So Midland, there's one. I think maybe if we go to Amazon or something.
Which one are you wanting?
I want one that hardwires in. So. I don't want just a walkie. I want one that's wired into there. Yeah, like that. I
That
want
first
one
one?
with I want one with the screen on it.
Oh.
Like a couple $100, but you can wire that into your battery, and then you can.
Now, do you want the screen
with
on the
antenna.
hand?
Yeah,
Or
I do because I want the thing. I'm going to tuck underneath the.
so you won't be able to see it.
Yes.
So you want it
So
on
that
the
way
actual.
only the wire comes up underneath the glove box, so you can wire that.
That's honestly cheaper than the other one.
Yeah.
Like.
Depends. Sometimes they have deals on them, but so Henry had one.
Yes.
He had one wired into an auxiliary switch.
Right.
Turned that on. It turned on the walkie. It turned it on. It
Yes.
was mounted underneath. He had it wired into one of the auxiliary switches, and then he had it on. That way, it's not on 100% of the time. If you just go straight to the battery, so go to auxiliary switch instead, and so you turn it on, and then the walkie, you can change the radio state, whatever channel you're on with that, and the volume and everything on the, and then you just. So Bullet Point I have a Bullet Point dash mount, and I have one for my phone, but you can also do one for GoPro as well. I got a GoPro mount, but then also you can have one for that you just place in there, and it's sitting up there.
Right.
Easy to get to, and you can hear it. It comes right out of that speaker. And then they have an antenna that comes with it. You put on your mirror or your exterior mirror, and you have the antenna. So it casts out further. So.
Right. Yeah.
Because I have that plus the two walkies that worked fine.
Yes.
When we went out, and so I can give those two to other people, and at least three of us can be all together without anybody bringing a walkie.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, that's one of the things I want. I also want to add more underbody and skid plates. I want to cover the fuel tank, and I want to cover the. I want to replace the IAG front one. I don't like, or I'm not the IAG, the ARB front one. I don't like the look of it. I want a black one to blend better. What else? I do want some amber lights for off-roading and like desert, that kind of thing. So I'd like to put those on the bumpers, on the heavy-duty module bumper. I'd also like a new bump. I'd like to get a bumper replacement in the back with amber one on the back, so people following me too can see. See me, and so I like to do that with backup lights too that light up even more. But that's
dust clouds have crunchy centers.
Yes. I just again just wish stuff, and I mean, may not even happen half of that stuff, but um, yeah, we
Yeah.
know it's not in the budget right now. Let's see here. What else? I don't know. I like to get some Mountains of Metal side Molly systems because like my air compressor is just sitting on the back, and so is my the tool bag. So when I do some stuff, it slides. So I'd like to get a better Molly system that allows me to strap to the sides with that stuff. So then I can just take the tool bag and put it on the side and don't take any cargo. And then
Yeah.
like when I have the cooler in there, instead of mounting it down to the front and rear tow hooks or the hooks up there, then I can mount it to the side panel. So I'd like to get at least one, if not two, of those Molly panels on the
Yeah.
side. I don't want to take up the rear cargo area or the little window area, but just the side mount. And I
Right.
think it'll be fine because you don't lose any storage because there's no, like the one side, I think on the left side, your storage is above it. So you don't lose it if it's on the side panel.
Mhm.
But then on the other side, I think I'd like to do it too. You do lose one little cubby there, but
Okay.
it'd probably be fine because everything I put in there, I could put on top. So anyway. So yeah, there are a couple things.
Okay.
Bronco. There's not like mach-e. There's not really a lot of accessories to add to mach-e. You can get rear quarter louvers, some stuff like that.
So-
some air design stuff, but I already have body kits and everything. So.
Chris says he can vouch for the Midland MXT 275 hardwired into the Bronco. Great reception, especially with the higher gain antenna wired to upfitter switch number 6.
I think that's the same one I was looking at. So I think that's the one with the screen on the handheld, whatever you call it. I think that's the same one I was looking at. But yeah, fun stuff. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
Some other ideas and some places to get, and then of course you can go to Ford Accessories also to find some things. But
Yep.
whether you're Bronco owners and F-150 owners, you got, don't forget about your all-weather mats or T-shirts, hats you can buy for people that
Yeah.
if they're into Ford stuff. Whether it be Bronco, mach-e.
You've
that
received
kind of
some
stuff.
Bronco grandpa shirts in the past.
Yep.
Do you have one that says don't mess with the grandpa or something about grandpa with a Bronco?
Yeah. I think you're. I think
Sister?
so.
Did Jolie give that to you?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I think your mom made it.
Oh, no, this is a different saying than the one that mom made.
I think something about my grandpa might try as a Bronco or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but this one's like never underestimate a grandpa with a Bronco.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Fun
Shirts,
stuff.
hats. Oh, they were asking where they can find a tumbler with the Bronco logo. Does Ford have those?
They might. So merchandise.ford.com. So
Can
that
have
you have
some.
accessories.ford.com, but you also have
Okay.
merchandise.
I've purchased a few things off of there. Something to note, size up. Size up. That's all I can say. I've ordered some shirts and you need a size up.
So yeah, merchandise, Ford merchandise. They go to those. So dealers can
have-
log in and employees can log in and get discounts, but they
They have
have
Bronco and
they
Mustang.
have Bronco collections, right? Collectible. I think accessories is where they're like. See, so they have some pretty cool drinkware.
They
So
got
some-
mugs and tumblers and cups.
Yep.
Car mat coasters.
Keychains. I have one of those.
That one's nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, they have some stuff there.
They even have Maverick. Not very as much, but
Where's
They
it?
do
Don't they
have
have like? Yeah, they have the freewheeling vests.
so you can match your Bronco.
They're on sale too. That one?
Go down. Is that strop?
No, they don't. Have it.
No, that's just retro.
But although it's the same colors, kind of,
I know.
right? The white and the code orange and the blue.
Yep.
and shirts.
I
And
saw
stuff.
Chase Gentry open his package from them
I
today.
have one of these in blue. Doesn't really say Bronco anywhere on it. I think
Yeah.
there's like this, and actually looks like it might say it up here. And mine says it like has a little Bronco on the like the collar or something, just like one
Mhm.
place.
So a lot of these won't actually just like outright say it. You'll find it somewhere else. Yeah, I saw Jackie opening up her stuff, and I was like, oh, those are cute. Kind of want those.
Because I've looked at some of these shirts and go, oh, I can wear that to work, and this and that. But I'm like, you doesn't say Bronco on anywhere on it. I'm like,
Right. It's like
probably
okay.
can't get away with that.
Yeah, to wear it to work, it has to say. Although I get a little cheat.
Yeah, Mustang,
As long as I look nice.
Dark Horse stuff, like
Right.
collections, GTD, 60th anniversary.
Right. As long as I look nice and presentable, right?
Yeah. Mach-e stuff.
HungerCon knows something. The public prices on merch are better than the employee prices.
Oh, these aren't. I'm not logged in as an employee.
No, he's saying that you are looking at those. He's looked at employee pricing.
Ah. Yep.
It's
Another
called Black
place if you're
Friday.
looking for mach-e stuff is the mach-e vlog. They have their own store. I think they have their own store. And they have Jeff actually bought one of their shirts. They have some pretty cool stuff in their shop. Oh, you can get a Tesla adapter for them. Oh, I need to put that. I think that's on my website too if you want to get one of those. But mach-e shirts, here you go. And they have some pretty cool looking shirts.
Oh my gosh.
Electric,
those are cute.
like electric pony. All right. They have some pretty cool looking stuff.
Like, I like that first one.
All right.
Like, I want that just because.
There. Electric pony.
And it's cheaper than Ford's.
Mach-e Club America actually joined that. Don't pay anything. It's free, but Mach-e Retro. Here, let's see it when I go over it.
Man, those are nice.
Yeah, they got some pretty cool designs. So that's another place if you want Mach-e stuff. I went to, I don't know if Electrified Expo has a shop, but when we were there, we bought hats that says Electrify or something. And we got hats for that. But yeah, so yeah.
Hats and shirts, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, let's just get a pin and a sticker.
You should see all the hats I have. I have one for every off-rodeo except for Tennessee.
So what I usually do is if I'm buying a hat, it goes to Levo. And then occasionally if I want to wear it, I'll wear it.
I think I have a shirt from each of the places. Like usually a shirt, hat, and I need a sticker.
Yeah.
Right, and a patch.
Those
are the 4 things that I get from each of the off-rodeo locations.
I've been doing a sticker, and I didn't see patches when we were in New Hampshire.
No, there's some of them that I'm missing. Like I was missing. So like the hats I was missing. So I actually was able to go on like Bronco Nation to get the other hat I was needing.
And then what was the other one? Oh, I do a sticker and a pin. So like at SEMA, I got a SEMA pin to put up on my pin board.
Yep. If you're a Bronco Nation member, there's Bronco Nation merch as well.
Yes.
So they have some merch on there. That's always fun too. And they have some of their
So I had a Bronco
stuff
Nation
now.
shirt in green, and I was told that that's the wrong color for the Broncos. I said, well, this is for the Ford Bronco, not the team.
Oh.
They're thinking blue or orange, and it's a green shirt. I'm like, wrong Bronco Nation.
Yeah. So we mentioned Harbor Freight. That's one of my new favorite stores. I usually didn't frequent there until the last year, and I would say I'll probably get all my tools and stuff from them. But they do have air compressors. They have some stuff for off-roading there too. They have winches, and they have, I think they have Badlands winches there. They have
at our store.
Yeah. They have the hooks
Online or
shackles.
in store?
In store.
So our
Go back to the back wall.
non-off-roading community, well, I guess they would be useful for farmers and
Oh yeah, tow hooks and winches. Yeah.
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 I think I've heard of a farmer using it to get a calf out of somewhere. Hook up the winch.
I don't know. I haven't had to use mine. I wanted to use it once just to move some logs, big heavy things, and your mom wouldn't let me. She said no. I'm like, come on. I need to be able to know how to use it when I need to use it. I know how to use it, but
you want to practice.
I don't want to have to use it on myself. But
Yep.
Anyway, all right.
It is 9:20.
Yes, we S. Waltz. I mentioned that. Was that when we were talking about Ranger? We'd actually talked about that. You can back up to our Is It True? Yeah, they're going to make them there, but they're not coming here. So unless people purchase them there and bring them over, then that might be different. But otherwise, I don't think we're going to see those here. So you can go and chat about that.
Please. Because if you do grab the logs with the winch, you're going to video it.
Somebody, was it Low Country Bronco? Is that right? They were doing something. I think it was a pool or something, and they used their winch to take down something that they had up. I think it was a pool. I'm like, there we go.
I need your help with something. I'll let you know. I have no trees on my property, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, I do. I have one. I'll let you know if I need your help.
All right. Okay, well, I think that's it. So hopefully I gave you some ideas for your favorite Ford friends, family, or
share this clip with
or
them.
a YouTuber.
Just send them this video with the timestamp and tell them watch it.
Okay, so you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Ford Video Guy. I get, for every $5, I get $4.50. That's better than YouTube does. It's better than any of the others. I actually did sign up. Somebody wanted to. I helped them with their private offer, and they were like, "I want to support you. How can I do? Are you signed up with Bring a Coffee or Buy Me a Coffee?" And I'm like, "No, I never thought of doing that." And so I signed up, so he could do that. And I was surprised. He had donated like $15, and I got $13.50 of the 15. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good return, because YouTube, I don't get near that. So it's kind of funny.
That's nice.
So there you go. Buy me, and I don't like to promote that too much, but it's there. It's actually, I think the link link's on my website.
It is there.
Yeah, there's a link to that. The Buy Me a Coffee, the merch link is on my website too, as well as the blog. So that's all. Again, that's a great place. The podcast as well. So if you're, really, that FordVideoGuyMedia.com has all the different places that we're at. I don't think I think in the social stuff, the links to our YouTube channels, my personal one, as well as the other one, is all there too. On the top bar, so you can get to all the socials and everything from that. I don't have threads on there. I need to add that.
For those that hadn't seen Spexinator, because we know that he puts a ton of miles on his Maverick, so we were wondering about the brakes thing. So, and we had noticed that Spexinator hasn't been in the chat for a while. I know that life happens. We know that our friend Kevin, who was in the chats a lot, he's had life stuff going on, so he's not in the chats very often. Please pray for Spexinator. He just had shoulder replacement surgery, and he'd been working late. That's why he hasn't been able to get on the chats. But he just had shoulder replacement surgery, so he's recovering from that, and he's going to start trying to get in on Tuesday nights.
Oh, okay.
And he's on his 4th Maverick. Number 2 is totaled.
Oh.
And he shared a picture.
Yeah.
But he puts over 100,000 miles on those.
Is he still a member of the channel?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Sorry.
But in case any of our members were wondering and would pray
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. Well, it's getting late. Speaking of family and different things, let's probably should get going. Anyway, all right. Anything else?
Didn't you pull out your lawnmower with your winch? I think he did. I think he shared that video with us. He got his riding lawnmower stuck in a bush somewhere and couldn't get it out, so he pulled his Bronco over.
That's funny. All right. Well, folks, this week we're going to have some mach-e videos, all the 3 different trim levels. So we'll be doing that this week. And yeah, other than that, hope you guys had a great time on this and talking, where you can find good deals on things and everything. And, a lot of those companies are going to have Black Friday sales coming up too. And some other places to go to find things too is you can also go to like Bronco 6G will have a lot of the different people they'll partner with will be on there, as well as Maverick Truck Club. A lot of times they'll have vendors there, and you can find different vendors that have things. And when there's usually when there's holidays where they have holiday sales, typically like Labor Day, Memorial Day, and Black Friday and all that, they'll have sales on there. So always check out your favorite forums. And the people that run the Maverick Truck Club and the Bronco 6G, they're all the same people for whatever favorite vehicle you have. So you can find a Ranger one there, mach-e as well, and Lightning and all that. Check out their forums. And a lot of times when those people have sales coming up for Black Friday, they'll list those discounts and such on there as well. So always be looking for that. So.
Oh, Douglas and I got it out of her. You can do that if it's not muddy out.
Yeah, because I wanted to move the Bronco in front of the log, so I would have to do that. So yeah, can't do that when it's muddy. So can't muddy up the yard. So anyway, we'll only have one vehicle in the yard pretty soon. Anyway, all right. That's all we have for this week. Hope you guys had a great time. And yeah, I don't. Oh, one thing to say is we may or may not have a live stream next week. I don't think they're going to be scheduling next week. And if Ford ends up taking next week and they're closed next week, which sometimes happens if there's a holiday in the middle of the week, the headquarters will close down. There won't be any dealer news updates or recalls or scheduling. Then we may not have a live stream. So just so you know that, that may be a possibility next week. So anyway, so there you go.
Yeah.
I think your mom's a little behind because she says never underestimate a pop-out with a Bronco.
She might be.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. You done? Good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.